Well, and welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. You know we're looking forward to being with you this morning. Looking forward to you being a part of what we're going to talk about on this day. Looking forward to having you on board to talk about what we're going to talk about on this day. Open up the phone lines. The phone lines are open at 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. So give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Um, first thing first. First thing first. Badger, I know you're not a big sports man. I know you don't don't look at a lot of sports. But the Super Bowl was, but the Super Bowl was yesterday. The Super Bowl was yesterday. It held the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, the first team to ever have a home Super Bowl game on their own stadium. They actually won their way to represent themselves at home on their own field.
Which team?
Tampa Bay.
Oh.
And they fought against the Kansas City Chiefs. Two great quarterbacks. One that's been winning forever. They call him the GOAT, the most winningest quarterback in history. He has won 7 Super Bowls
in a row, hasn't he?
No, not in a row. It's like every other year. Tom Brady will win the Super Bowl. So he's been in 10 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. Lost 3. Against Patrick Mahomes, who has been in 2 Super Bowls. Won one last year, and I think he was very close the year before that, but I think he got beat out right before the Super Bowl that game. And so
probably didn't catch it then.
You had what they deemed the GOAT against the kid, which we know as a baby goat.
Wait, Tom Brady's called the GOAT?
Yeah, greatest of all time. That's what they call him.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at the guy, man. Look at his track record. I don't care too much for the guy. Truth of the matter, I really don't. But the guy who has won 7 Super Bowls, man. That's more than any team.
He has not earned more than like 4 or 5 of them. They were gifted to him.
And you could have a point. You could have a point.
Way too much politics in game. Like the first Super Bowl he won, it was like a big thing about the referees and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of asterisks by his victories. But look at the record books, man. He got the most Super Bowl of anybody in history, 7. And so, the reason why people play the game, is to win those Super Bowls. And we got quite a few people that's checking us out, man. Give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give me a call to let me know what you think about whether Tom Brady is the GOAT. Is he the GOAT in football? Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? 7 Super Bowls, 7 rings. Man, look here. He been 10 times. So every finger is represented. Whether he won it or not, he was there. And to win 7, that's more than the highest amount of any team is 6. And that is the New England Patriots, which Tom Brady won 6 of those for them. And my Pittsburgh Steelers have 6. Tom Brady has 7. So give me a call.
Retire yet?
He got another year on his contract. So and I don't honestly speaking, I don't think he's gonna win it next year. I don't think so. Father Time is undefeated. And so, I think
but I think he'll make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think something happens between now and then. He's not even gonna make it to the Super Bowl next year. He's not gonna make it.
We will see.
Mm-hmm. They've gifted him enough. Now it's time. Now it's time for the game for the game to move on. Now it's time for the game itself to move on from Tom Brady.
Go back to the days of the Iron and all them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't bring in coaches like John Madden and all that stuff.
Exactly. But it was an interesting game. I got bored with it after the score got so one sided. And Patrick Mahomes, he played his heart out. He really did. He played his heart out. But things happen, man. And his receivers, for whatever reason, when they were so dependable before, they were dropping the ball. He, at one point, he had struggled out of the pocket so much, and he was laid down, almost falling down, and he threw the ball about 40 yards down the field, and it hit the receiver's hands, and he dropped it. You can't win like that. You cannot win.
No, but you can get a massive paycheck for it.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to talk football with. When I learned the politics behind it, I don't do football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But see, and a lot of people say, and we had a fellow on with us Friday that was saying that the whole thing is rigged. It's a play out, and it's gonna play out in this way right here. I maybe in basketball I could see something like that, but in football, which is such a physical sport, if them guys don't give it their all, they could, you go out there on the field and you don't play hard, you could get hurt for not playing hard.
I mean, wrestling and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah,
boxing's been rigged.
Yeah, I mean, you can rig boxing. It's easy to rig boxing. Go out there and have the guy just act like he's doing something, and the guy just catch him. The guy could.
Right.
It'll appear as though the guy's just faster or whatever. So that's something you can rig. You could definitely rig wrestling. Wrestling that they say is scripted, and it is.
Yeah.
But you set that up. You know what the outcome is going to be. When the guys walk into the ring, they know who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, and how they're gonna win and lose. They know this already. But football, I played football, man, for a lot of years, and I know, and I know that out there on that field, man, if you don't bring it out there on that field, it's real hard to stage it. It's real hard to stage it in football, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure it probably does happen. But
I mean, if them receivers were catching balls all year long, and then all of a sudden in the Super Bowl they ain't, that's suspicious.
And one of the things too, had it been their first time, you was there where the pressure got on them and blah blah blah. But them guys won the Super Bowl the year before. They won the Super Bowl the year before, so it's not like the pressure is there.
Yeah.
I'm probably it probably could have been some, but my thing is, you won it last year. You was almost there the year before that, and so pressure situations, you've seen them. You overcome them. You won the Super Bowl. So yeah, there's a lot tied up in that thing, man. There's a lot tied up into it. But like I say, hey, Tom Brady, and I ask the question again: 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Is he the GOAT? Is Tom Brady the GOAT?
No.
And okay. Now my follow up question: who, if not him, then who?
Is it Don or Dan Marino? Brett Favre?
Brett has won maybe 1 or 2 Super Bowls. Dan Marino has never won a Super Bowl.
No, but he's one hell of a quarterback.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He really is. But he's never won.
I'm trying to remember.
And if the measuring stick is to be the champion to win the Super Bowl, then no one has done it more than Tom Brady. No one.
Like I said, I don't think he earned a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana I think won 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough, and now, truth of the matter, he have a lot of good pieces around him. He have a lot of great pieces around him, and he go out there and get the people and place them in certain positions to make sure that he does well. He's to me he's almost like a LeBron James. LeBron James, he gonna pick a good team and he gonna go to that team and he's gonna make the team better. But he's not gonna go to a sorry team that was 0-15 the year before. He's not gonna go on a team like that. He's not. Well, you got to go and take these young guys and mold them into something and make them something. I can't see them going. When Brady left Tampa Bay, not Tampa Bay, when he left New England. I'm sorry, when he left New England last year, he picked which team he wanted to go to. He knew that Tampa Bay had a lot of talent. He knew Tampa Bay just needed a good quarterback to get them over the hump, and he went there and he made that difference. The players was there. He had some great players there. Receivers, the line, everything was good. Everything was real good. Man, Tom Brady didn't really get pressured at all. He was able to stay back there in that pocket and throw the ball because he was just that protected. They didn't get they. He might have got sacked maybe once in the whole game. You can't allow a quarterback that has an arm like Tom Brady to just stand back there in that pocket and throw the ball. He's gonna pick you apart, and that's what he did. In the defense did not step up to the plate at all. The referees called everything against the defense. Every little if the defense sneeze, it's a penalty. If the defense stop too quick, it's a penalty. I was like, man, come on, let these guys play the game, man.
See, now you're.
Mhm. But see, you can't in football. The coach has always told us in the level that I played on. Don't let the referees beat you. Don't let the referees make the decision of the game. You do what you have to do. Don't let the decision. Don't let the referee be the decision maker in who win or lose this game. There's some things they could have done different or better that would have better affected. And truth of the matter, the guys was doing the DBs was doing a whole lot of holding. They was holding, man. They was grabbing onto the guys, man. They wrapping them up and all kind of things. Man, you can't do that. The referee gonna call. They gonna call that. And some of the calls they made was legitimate calls, but they didn't call it both ways. That was my issue. They didn't call it both ways. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Go ahead, Beth.
Here's an article from the USA Today. Opinion: Super Bowl 55 officiating was terrible, but no conspiracy, just typically inconsistent.
Yep, just what I said. Just exactly what I said. They call it more one sided than anything else. I mean, they called the calls and what they called were legitimate calls, but they didn't call it both ways.
31-9.
Yes. There's no Kansas City is powerful and high potent as their offense is, did not score a touchdown in that game. The 9 points came off the foot of their kicker. He kicked 3 field goals. They did not cross the goal line one time in that whole game. And everybody said they had the best offense in the NFL. Either they dropped off or that defense, and everybody's saying that the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay did an amazing job putting the defense together and making the defense ready to play. They say he did an amazing job, and he did. He should be a head coach somewhere because to get out there, nobody was able to stop these guys all year. Nobody. As a matter of fact, they played earlier in the season. They played and they lost. Tampa Bay lost by 3 points. At one point, they were down, I think, 17-0. But at the end of the game, Tampa Bay only lost by 3 points. That's the high potent offense that Kansas City has. He stopped them. He put the defense together, the mindset of the defense together. He put a plan together, and he stopped the guys. He stopped them. And I know this morning they're waking up kicking themselves because they didn't do enough.
I think they did plenty.
What you say the score was 31-9? They didn't do enough.
No, they're probably enjoying some paychecks right now.
Sometimes me myself, I understand what you're saying, and that's good. That's a good consolation prize. But I want the Super Bowl. I want the ring. I want the victory. The money.
They
The money's
won
good.
the Super Bowl, and they've been pretty much unstoppable. They probably could have actually won it if they actually wanted to.
Say it again.
If they actually wanted to, they probably could have won it.
No, they couldn't have won. If they wanted to win, they would have won. You don't pansy in a Super Bowl like that. You don't pansy. I don't. That's just my vision of it. See,
Difference of
I'm a very competitive person, and when it's time to compete, I'm there to compete, and I'm gonna give everything I got. If I don't win, it's not gonna be because I didn't give everything I had to win. I'm just too. And my wife tells me all the time, "You're too competitive." Maybe I am, but I'm not here to lose. I'm not here to lose. That's not an option. I'm not here to lose, and I'm gonna do everything I need to do to win. That's just me. I guess not everybody's like that. Now, Badger, we have a topic today, and this topic is quite interesting. I actually been getting a lot of feedback um, on this topic, and I'm gonna ask you the question. I'm gonna put it across the screen as well. Um, uh oh, We about to we about to have somebody with us is coming in here in a second or two. Rico gonna be here in a second or two now. Now Rico is a football guy. He gonna be here in a second. Now Rico is a football guy, and he gonna break this thing down. And again, the phone lines are open 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Put that across the screen there for you so you can see that. And Rico, he just shared it, so hopefully he's gonna be coming in just 1 second, and we'll be able to talk to him on his take of what happened in that game yesterday. I saw he posted something on Facebook last night, congratulating Tampa Bay, and yeah, it's hard to swallow, huh? Huh? What you say, Badger? Okay. Yeah, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Our question today is this, Badger. What is the difference? What is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
A lot.
Talk to me. Now, this radio, man, you can't say a lot, man. You gotta talk to me, man. Badger say a lot.
I don't really have a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of dislike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I've watched other people have hatred, and I just don't have it.
Mm-hmm. And I got on somebody yesterday about this very thing, and I understand what you all are saying, and it makes sense. But I'm gonna tell you, like I told them, hate is an emotion, just like joy, pain, and all that stuff. Hate is an emotion, and hate is an emotion. I'm gonna give it to you like I gave to them. Hate is an emotion, like fear. Fear is an emotion, and some people say I don't have any fear. Okay, it's okay to say that, but if you walking through your house at 1 2 o'clock in the morning and you hear a big bump downstairs, and you hear a big bump, and you go check out what it is, and when you go, you turn a corner, and soon as you turn the corner, you hear a cock of the gun, and somebody point a gun in your face, and that you don't know, that's invaded your home. You say that you don't have fear, but fear is an emotion, and at that moment, it's going to stir something that looks just like fear up in you. Now, how you react to it is a whole different thing, and how you respond to it is a totally different thing as well. But that doesn't mean it's not there. I say that because a lot of time people say, "Well, I don't have any hate." Hate is an emotion, and a lot of
I
time people
say
say,
I didn't have any.
no, 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 no. I understand, and this is not towards you. This is not toward you at all. But my thing, I'm just talking about in general. And my thing is, that is an emotion, and because of the fact that it's emotion, you can't nobody tell me what line they went in where they didn't give, and when they're giving out these different things called in life, and emotions are given out, they don't omit any one of them. Everybody have all of them.
Hmm.
And so, whether we want to address it, say we have it or say we don't have it, that's one thing, and That's everybody's right if they want to. If they don't want to say, that's fine. But at the same time, it's there. It's there. Somebody do something to one of your family members, and just do something terrible to one of your family members. That hate is there. It's good. Whether you act on it, whether you respond to it, or however you
Well,
what.
any negative emotion comes from fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, I've seen, and I want to let you finish. 'Cause I want to hear your heart on what you're saying, because maybe we might actually agree to say the same thing. So better yet, before I even say anything, go ahead. What do you mean when you say that?
to me, the opposite of love is fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hate.
Mm.
Most of the time when people hate something, they fear it.
Mm. I think we differ a little bit on that one, brother. I think we
Well,
differ.
it's something that took me a while to get, because you can dislike things, you can have different perspectives and stuff like that, but it's
Mute your line for a minute.
like the great dislike for adultery
Mm-hmm.
or harming of a child or anything like that. A lot of people say that they hate that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked a couple, I'm like, why do you hate it? And they're like, well, I just, I don't want that person to get near my wife. I'm like, well, that sounds like a fear.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want that to happen to my child. And I'm like, well, that sounds like that comes from a fear of why you hate people like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I started looking across the board at different things that people hate. And when you start digging down psychologically, it stems from a fear.
Mm. And like I say, I think we kind of differ on that a tad bit. I think we differ on that, but and that's good. We don't have to agree. We certainly don't have to agree, because my thing is, I want to know your perspective. I'm gonna tell you my perspective, and then we'll put everybody else's perspective in it, and then hopefully by the end of the conversation, we have a better and a clearer understanding. All of us have a better and a clearer understanding. Good morning, Captain Leonard. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, Rodney. Good morning, Glow family.
Now, Leonard, I gotta ask you a question, brother. Me and Badger talked about
Yes,
this.
sir.
We talked about it this morning, and Badger's not really a football guy. He told me his opinion on it, and I respect his opinion. But what did you see happen yesterday in that football game, man? What happened?
Brady happened.
Now, Badger said that he said in his mind that a lot of Brady got 7 Super Bowls, most of any other team do in the league, anybody else in the league. And so I said that if you're going to equate the GOAT with championships, he would be the GOAT in football. And Badger said that he don't agree with that, because a lot of the Super Bowls that he was given was gifted to him. What do you say to that? Do you think Brady is the GOAT?
Yes. Doesn't matter what people think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
When you put the stats up and his ability to prove that it wasn't the coach as much,
Mm-hmm.
and that he was contributing to the success of team making it to the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
he proved to you he could go somewhere else and do it.
Wow. And see, and the amazing part about that is New England didn't even make the playoffs without him, man. I was like, wow.
That's right. That's right. So that's one thing he proved. He proved that it was his talent, his team. It could be, I don't know how he is with other team members,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is Brady does.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability to get people to play as a team.
And see, everybody out here talk about him, and I don't know if it's for political reasons and all this other stuff, or for the camera, but everybody that played with him say they love the guy, man. They say that he's fun to play with. We make it fun, and they have a good time out there, man. They don't say the same.
He's a real leader. He's a real leader.
They don't say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. They don't say the same thing about. They say Aaron Rodgers is terrible to play for him, man.
Well, and then you have some people will tell you that, but you have to remember, this is those guys. That's their job.
Mm-hmm.
That's their profession.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you have issues at the office, they got issues at
Mm-hmm.
the office.
Yeah.
This guy is just more of he's a star player on the team. He's a leader on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He
Wow.
obviously he is invested in the success of the team that he plays with. That's the only thing that seems to matter to him.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what happened to Kansas City, man? Kansas City, they say, had the most potent offense in the league. Man, them guys didn't even score a touchdown, man. They got 9 points from field goals. What happened, man?
Well, when you invest so much in one guy, that one guy seems to lead the team, and that's what it was, immaturity. I mean, they made a lot of mistakes. You can't make a lot of mistakes like that.
Yeah. Now, what?
And then it don't help if the referee and everything are being far more lenient to the other side as well.
Sir. Yes, sir. We talked about that earlier. Absolutely.
And so, that young man's career is really beginning. And another guy is coming to an end. So, I mean, I wanted Kansas City to win because of that issue. But that guy, Tom Brady, proved out on his watch.
Yeah. Now, you said something about the referee, and we spoke about that earlier as well. And the truth of the matter, every call that I saw that the referees made were legitimate calls. A lot of them were legitimate calls. But they didn't call it both ways, because if you look at it, Tampa Bay was doing some of the same thing, holding and turning them and twisting them, but they didn't. But for whatever reason, the calls weren't made. The flag was not thrown, and so
different on the field.
It looked different on the field. Yeah. Badger's rubbing his hand saying money. He's saying money that was paid off. What do you say?
Well, I mean, but then again, it's all conspiracy, what people think or what have you. But the only thing that's sure is that man has those Super Bowl runs.
Exactly.
I agree with that. How he got them, a lot of people ain't going to care about. But I mean, politics are too involved in football. I don't care for
it. Okay. Now, Leonard, our topic today is a simple topic, man. I posted it on Facebook yesterday and got a lot of feedback from it, a lot of different ways. But what is the difference? What is the difference, Leonard, between your love and your hate?
Other than the actual nature of it, there isn't a whole lot of difference. The energy behind it. But love and hate they're closely, the energies are closely related. One just goes in one direction, the other one goes in the opposite direction.
Now, which one? And I love I love what you just said, man. That's good. But which one can generate the most energy, and harm, if you will, in any given situation?
Doesn't really matter. The energy is there. Very, very like energies, just on different sides. You use one energy for one thing, you use the other energy for another thing.
Now, peace, that's almost like saying peace and rage. Peace and rage. Which is better? I know one might be a little more comfortable.
I have preference for peace.
Yeah. Badger, what do you?
Rage is negative.
Is there ever any situation where rage is necessary, Leonard?
No.
Badger say yes. Why you say yes, Badger?
Someone walks in my house and tries to puts their hands on my kids. It ain't anger no more. It's rage. Defending my family, at least for me, anyway.
That's good. That's good. And that's what I say. The conversation that we're having today is going to be a little different. We may not agree across the board, but at the end of the day, hopefully we'll all get a better perception from what we're talking about, perspective from what we're talking about, and walk away elevated a little past where we are at the start of the conversation. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Mute your line a little.
Grand Rising, my brother. Grand Rising. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Man, I gotta ask you. We talk to everybody. Badger, he's not really a football guy, but he gave his perspective on it. Leonard gave his, and I want to know from you, man, what happened yesterday?
Another team came up, well coached, and the Brady effect finally clicked. It finally kicked in. Every now and then you get a leader that knows how to approach all of the players and bring them together the correct way. Some
Mhm.
have to have a psychiatrist in the locker room that knows how to mesh all those different attitudes and behaviors together and get them on the page for one goal. Some
Mhm.
a system and learn a way. Now maybe Brady did learn that system when he got to New England, because when he got to New England, they were undefeated when he took over that team. Drew Bledsoe got hurt. But
Mhm.
being in that system for a year and seeing what Bill Parcells had done, was he was able to see, okay, you know what, I see the system to winning. I see
Mhm.
the tools that it takes to win. I see, Bill Parcells, he's loved just as a coach just as much as Brady is as a player. So,
Mhm.
we always talk about how people are programmed, or led by example. They are guided when they're seeing the right way to go. Then the next person takes the torch and they run with it. Well, I think Brady took Parcells' approach and he ran with it, and he used Parcells' approach as a quarterback. Same.
Mhm.
And so, if you notice, when he got Antonio Brown on the team with him in New England, he said, Antonio, come live with me, because he
Yeah.
knew what kind of influence he could have. See,
Mhm.
some people have a platform and have a position, but they still don't know how to influence everybody.
Mhm.
To me, seems like he comes off as a sincere person, so he can connect with people. You had the guy Josh. I can't think of Josh's last name, but he kept getting suspended when he was with Cleveland. Kept getting suspended with the quarterback guy, Johnny Manziel. Him and Johnny Manziel got together and they kept getting suspended. Then they
Mhm.
came to New England and he did everything he was supposed to do. He was
Yeah.
around a winner. He was around somebody that truly was positive, and he was around somebody that truly, as a teammate, that had compassion and love for them and
Mhm.
connect with them. See, when you connect with somebody, then you can actually reach them better. But now Antonio Brown had a whole different attitude toward Ben Roethlisberger. He said, "Man, Ben don't even know my children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben don't even have conversations after the game. We don't get together and go out and have barbecues or just come over each other's house. I've never been to Ben's house, so it would just work with Ben. You expendable to me. Come on in. You ain't a good receiver. Get out of here. We'll get another one. But with
Mhm.
someone like, hey, man, you my brother. We in here. We in this war together. And so when you go to war with people, and you know that this person is saying, I'll lead you. I'll put my life on the line for you. Now you might want to do things your way, and I'll let you do things your way. And I'm gonna argue with you, but after we do it your way, we're gonna see how it work out. Then we're gonna look at my 6 rings and see if you want to go my route. And that's
Mhm.
what happened with that team. I saw that team come in with a whole bunch of their own attitude. Leonard Fournette, terrible attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible attitude in high school, had a terrible attitude in college. I couldn't believe he even made it as far as he made it. And when they got to Jacksonville, that attitude got money and it showed. And Jacksonville will expose you if your mind ain't right and you got that money. Jacksonville, Duval will expose you.
Yes, sir.
On that. But when he got down to Tampa Bay, when you get around a real leader and get around a real man, sometimes you'll have a coach on the field. Tom Brady's a coach on the field. He's a
Yeah.
psychiatrist. Like I said, he can get the players to come around and rally around him. And that
And what
show
happened, what happened with Mahomes?
a losing team.
What happened with Mahomes though? Mahomes boy. I mean, he played his heart out and he tried. He really tried, man. But what happened?
Well, you get a chance to study game footage. Everybody on that field is human. So
Mhm.
you study somebody hard enough and you want to win hard enough, you can put up a defense. Anybody can be beaten.
Mhm.
Saying and so and if you put enough concentration and focus into designing a plan to succeed against a supposedly inevitable force, you can. America, same thing can happen to America, even though we're the most powerful country on the planet with the most money and the most weapons. We got the most debt and the most confusion and most dysfunction too. You can always find a crack, a kink in somebody's armor if you study hard enough.
Exactly.
Will.
Exactly. I want to see what my lady's gonna call when they call in this morning or they come on this morning. But Kansas City, I want to hear.
You know what they gonna say. You know what they gonna say. We still winners. We still champions. I don't care what they say. We still the Super Bowl champ, man. You know how them sisters is, man. They are not fixing to lose or be wrong for nothing. My own last night.
Exactly. Now, did the referees have a part in the game last night, Rico?
Yeah, well, you know, now they did stick their nose in there a little bit too much last night. They did, but they didn't leave they didn't close the door on Kansas City. It wasn't that much of an impact that the score reflected. That was a reflection of a team studying and preparing.
Man, a lot of them doggone pass interference calls that they called against Kansas City, they could have made the same calls against Tampa Bay, but they didn't.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that too. I was like, man, in the Super Bowl, you don't get that ticket tack. You know what I'm saying? They didn't play all season, so they Mahomes was handcuffed a little bit. But defense, that the referees couldn't make that defense beat that line the way they did. That defense was backfield. I mean, Mahomes was running for his life pretty much the whole game. He didn't. He was pretty comfortable that first couple of drives, but once they shut down Tyreek Hill and Travis, and the thing about it is, people that play football or really observe football, they could see Tampa Bay's defense during the season start getting pretty stout.
Yeah.
And I don't care what kind of offense you got, man. When you get a stout defense together, like when Baltimore won their first Super Bowl, you put a defense together, man, you got a problem on your hand. And Tampa Bay's defense got real stout. And then, like the last half of the season, they got real dark. To me, they turned into the best defense in the league, but they were unsung because of Brady, and that was a good distraction for them. They won that Super Bowl last night.
Look here, I'm gonna tell you something, man. It was interesting to watch how, because if anybody would have told me and said, man, look here, this game gonna be 9 points. They're only gonna score 9 points, 3 field goals. That's all they're gonna get. And they would have told me that. I said, man, this offense ain't nowhere in the world, man. Come on, man. Who are you talking to?
I want to throw in other factors too. Andy Reid didn't look like he called his normal game, and being under pressure, having your son go through that situation 2 days before the game, and this same son had these problems before. And to be honest with you, even though everything on the outside looks good, Andy Reid may have known that his son could have been backsliding. He could have regressed and went back into alcohol and start feeling. You know how people get comfortable when things start feeling good and they get on track. They feel like, hey, I got everything in hand now. I got everything under control. I'm good. And he probably got his normal self. So Andy probably had a lot of pressure on him conscious-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with that game that night, because they did not really open that offense up. I've seen it in his play calling. That didn't play calling last night. It looked terrible, like his mind was in another place.
Exactly. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Glow. It's Shira. How are y'all?
Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Good morning, sister.
I know you watched the game last night. What did you see?
Man, that was paid to lose. You cannot tell me that you made it all the way this far and you're gonna lose by that much. Come on now. And this is a team that I didn't know could have put some points on the scoreboard. So I really think they either were paid to lose or they got nervous or whatever the situation was, but I don't believe that was a true game.
It was a true game, man. But my thing is this right here, and like Rico was just saying, there was a lot of elements tied into this game. Kansas City wasn't Kansas City yesterday. The team that you saw was not the team that you saw early in the season or during the season. It wasn't the same team for whatever reason. Maybe it was because of the defense. Maybe it was because of the defense because they doubled Hill and they doubled what's my boy name? What's his name? Casey. They
That was paid to lose. That was paid.
Now, Leonard, do you think they were paid to lose?
No, man, I don't think they were paid to lose. I think that other team was paid to win.
Wow. Okay.
You incentivized the team enough, and it was just a bad look. Those passes that you normally would complete because you was out running that backfield, that did not happen last night. They put that constant coverage on the guy, and I don't care if I was waiting for more interceptions. I was surprised he didn't throw more interceptions because he's a running passer. He'll pass off a bad foot.
Yeah.
This guy was known for being able to complete passes all off balance, but if that man not open, he's just not open.
Yeah.
He couldn't see it open. He just simply couldn't see it open.
I'm just trying to figure out what can this do to make Mahomes better? What can he take out of this right here that's gonna make him better as a quarterback and as a leader? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Badger, what do you say to that?
Which part?
What can he take from this loss that he had yesterday that will make him better as a quarterback and as a leader on the field?
I have no bloody idea.
Help him out, Rico. You muted, brother.
They went to the Super Bowl last year and won.
Yeah.
Came back and won in thrilling fashion. They for the past couple of seasons, they've been giving teams the business. Like I said, there may have been contributing factors. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that outside influences affect everybody. Well, I don't care what your job is. Those guys out there to perform a job. And that coach got a son that is in jeopardy, possibly, of being incarcerated and also taking the life of a child. And it don't look good for him because even if he wasn't drinking, he still looked like he was in the wrong. Yeah.
And he said he was on he took Adderall or something like that. He said he takes. Yeah.
And so regardless of what he took, he still was in the wrong. He could have been sober. He still had to worry about hitting some innocent people on the side of the road that was out of the road. So he still is at fault. He just purely an accident. That man got it on his hands that he might have killed or hurt somebody's child. And father, once again, one of my sons going through something. One of them has died. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to deal with this, man. I mean, I gotta coach this game, but guess what? My son's life and these children that may be that may be dying is more important than this game.
The game just is not as important right now.
So he probably couldn't get into it. He probably couldn't get the players together or get his coaches together to rally them to get the players open that he needed open. Because like Leonard said, man, them guys wasn't open. And everybody knows Mahomes was a quarterback of deception, man. Look, Mahomes can look this way and throw the ball that way. Yeah. Looking off. Looking off defense. But now, if that man ain't open, that don't work. If he could throw it off balance, he threw a lot of off balance passes last night that almost got caught. A couple of them got intercepted.
Man, he was laid down. He was laid down parallel to the game and threw one ball, man. I was like, man, how this dude? And it should have been caught.
That's the way he played. Yeah. But that's a special player, but that don't work all the time. That ain't normal. Fundamentally sound. Most if they try something like that, it's automatically gonna be a turnover. So he can make things happen, but he'll be able to come back. I mean, because those guys don't go there to lose and then just give up. Still, they'll get in that weight room and they'll focus and they'll come together as a team and build a camaraderie and build a bond, and they'll stay focused, or they might disintegrate like some teams and they just have a team full of millionaires just out here living their best lives. That's the difference between the teams that make it to the Super Bowl and don't.
Exactly. Shira, what do you say about that, man? You think he was paid to lose? You say he was paid to lose, but what can he take out of this loss that's gonna make him better? Shira?
I think every dog has a day. Every good dog has 2 days. I think somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. But the most important thing is to learn from your errors and learn from your mistakes. Maybe some things that could have been done differently. Maybe some things could have happened at different points. All thing that they can do is study the tapes and prepare for next year. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, it was a game. They get paid. Like I say, that's their job to play. So, I mean, everybody can't be winners. If that was the case, then we would be watching it. So things went wrong for them and things went right for the other team. And that's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the only thing that you can do is not beat yourself up for it because, you know, you just learn just like in life, like with us. We just learn from our mistakes and get up and try again.
Exactly. Leonard, what can he take out of this loss that he had yesterday? This beating, if you will, that he took yesterday. What can he take away from this as a quarterback and make himself a better quarterback and a better leader?
Right.
Leonard.
I'm like Chris. It's just what they say. He got beat today. I don't care how good you play for the team. Every game is its own game.
Yes, sir.
That's one man don't win the Super Bowl. You know, if you make it through the season on a win and a prayer, and you have fun, and you can't duplicate that for this game. It's a mind game because he definitely has the athletic ability. But it takes a lot more to win the game than that. It's a strategy game. So you have to make sure that I'm not saying that man ain't did nothing wrong. That man was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And
come on, man. How old is that dude?
What is it, about 20, 22, 23, something like that?
Yeah, barely grown.
Yeah.
Barely grown. So give that man his credit, give that man his due. Yes, he may have lost that game, but he was there.
And
don't make no look. You got folks that was winning the first half, second half come around, same man beat him like he stole something. There's something about that guy that you're playing against that you have to take into consideration.
Exactly. And though it hurts, I know it does hurt to lose and not be on the winning side when you're used to winning. But Rico, I'm gonna tell you something. That when you open up that check, the envelope, and that big old check in there, it might make him feel just a little bit better though.
It's possible. Some of them in the game for the check, but some don't care about that check. They got enough of them. They wanted that game.
That's what I was telling Badger earlier. That's the same thing I was telling you. Hear that, Badger? The same thing I was telling you earlier. I don't care about the money. I'd rather have the ring. I'd rather have the championship. But
that's the whole purpose in playing. I mean, you get bonus checks for every game in the playoffs. The winners get so much, the losers get so much. With this Super Bowl, they don't just get a ring; they get a bonus. They may have gone up, but I think they may get like $125,000 bonus as the victor, and maybe $80,000 for the loser. Yeah, that is a loser's reward. But now, if you just like money, then you probably gonna go out there and get your neck broke.
Yep.
You're gonna get because there's some guys out there, some superior elite athletes out there that can bench press you 30 times, run through you, and if they hit you hard enough, they'll put you in the hospital or cripple you for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And other people the same size. Look, I had a cousin that broke the record at the combine one year for the bench press. He was coming out of high school bench pressing 450 pounds. He went to Alonzo Highsmith, and Alonzo Highsmith threw him like a piece of paper. And like I said, this thing came out and said after every game, it wasn't no part in the celebrating. It was ice tubs. Feel like you've been in 7 or 8 accidents. Nobody going out there to fake and throw no game. You don't prepare your whole life to be the best you can be in your school, in your city, in your college, on your team, or in the world to go out here and throw games for somebody else to say, well, hey, man, this is our golden boy.
Yeah.
Too many blood, sweat, and tears. You don't had too many knee surgeries.
Yeah.
It came back and put up with that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So the outfight, I'm gonna tell you something about a fan. A fan and an opinion ain't really worth nothing. Them guys are rooting for the people. Like I said, we look at them and we glorify them for what they do and talk about what they should have did. He should have stretched out for the ball. Okay, you get out there and run full speed and stretch out for it.
Exactly.
You practice every day of the week. You get what I'm saying? You go out there and get hit and your eyes seem like they done cocked this kind of way. Players, people used to play through concussion. Those were tough guys. You ever seen guys with leg break? Come on, man. I ain't nobody throwing no games. And you got somebody landing on your leg and snapping it to the bone. Bone come out your leg. Ain't nobody throwing no games. Ryan Shazier is paralyzed. Ain't nobody throwing no games.
Exactly. But it was an interesting game, man. At points and parts of it was kind of hard to watch because you wanted to see everybody do better. You definitely wanted to see Kansas City do better than what they did. But you know, it is
the first time. You remember when Peyton Manning, that joker, he got sacked on the first snap of the game, and you knew then that this was not going to be an uneventful Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's over. Rico, what is the difference? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
Okay, I was listening earlier when Badger said that about fear. You know what I'm saying? And fear might play a small part of that, but it's plain and simple. It's something that you love, you like extremely a lot, and something you hate, you dislike. Bullies hate them. Sometimes bullies hate the people they beat up on, but they don't fear the people they beat up on. They beat up on them because they're vulnerable and they know they can beat them. You don't that you know you can beat. You might dislike them because they nasty. You might dislike them because they don't have as much money as you, whatever superficial or material reason you have. But that has nothing to do with fear. That just has to do with you having a certain idea in your mind of what is acceptable for a human being to be. You know, if that's the situation. Now, dislike comes in many forms. But I think, you know, when it comes to situations like that, you just can't put certain titles on it like fear. Because like I said, I don't think bullies fear the people they beat up on. If anything, the victims fear their bullies. And their hate, but they don't hate them because they fear them. They hate them because they mistreat them. They hate them because they put them in an emotional state that they're not comfortable with. They put them in pain. They embarrass them. Embarrassment has nothing to do with fear. That has to do with your pride and respect. So a lot of times you're going to dislike things that goes against what makes you comfortable or disrespects your nature of what you consider righteous or right towards you. But, you know, that's the difference between love and hate. You are really going to hate things that you really dislike.
Which one has the most force? The love or the hate?
Oh, love always overcomes. Love and compassion always overcomes. Oh man, well, you know what? Some hate will cost you your life, and when it costs a person their life, you can't get them back. Love can't bring them back. So I guess hate can have a bigger impact. Because if you hate somebody enough to take their life, you can't love them enough to bring them back. So hate or impact.
Okay. And that's what I said. And in this conversation, I know this conversation is going to be a lot of things where we're going to agree, we're going to disagree with different people's perspective. And that's a beautiful thing because, like I said earlier, hopefully we're going to walk away with a better mindset about what we're talking about and hopefully elevate each other to a different place where we look at it just a little bit differently. Sheba, what do you say to that? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
You know, I always say, and I believe wholeheartedly, there's a fine line between love and hate. You know, you can love somebody so much you hate them, and you can hate somebody so much you love them. And I'm gonna tell you something: both love and hate have some deep passion, and you can love something so much, and you put every bit of energy you have in doing it. Or you can hate something so much and you put your energy in not doing it. So both of them have a high passion, a high emotional state, and you know, sometimes you blindsided by the two because you can do something and think it's because you love it, but it's because you hate something even more. For example, I can say I love my Black people. I love my people. I'm gonna fight for my people, but I hate injustice. And so that love and that hate is driving my passion to do the things, to be an activist or to go out and speak or do different things. So that love and hate kind of work hand in hand. So for me, the difference between my love and hate is probably the drive or the force behind the things that I do.
Okay, let me ask you this, Shu, and that's hold on 1 second, Shu. Let me ask you this because I love where you are right now, because you said that drive. You said that drive. Now, which one, if you love somebody, would you have the same drive and same motivation that you had if you hate somebody and you're just going after them because they did something to somebody in your family or one of your loved ones? Would you have the same amount of? Go ahead.
Yes. I can love somebody so much that I put all my energy into making them great. Or I can hate somebody so much that I can put that energy in making them not great. To tear them down, to scheme, to do different things to bring forth their downfall. So both of them have that driving force behind it to do something. Whether you love them or hate them or whatever it is, if I just like, you know, we all have people that we love and broke up with, and some have been some fiery breakups to where they brought about, I can't stand this person, and people in that state do some things to the other significant other out of hate and you know, volatile things that they do to the other person, just because they broke up with them or because they're not together. But while they were together, their love was even stronger because when they were together and they loved each other, they did things to support each other. And that driving force, it just depends on what your driving force is. It can be fueled by love or hate.
Wow. That's good. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Watch this, Rico. I think it's K with an E. Am I mistaken? Is that K with an E? I'm checking for my.
You said 816 calling?
Yes. Now, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
You know, this is K with the E.
Okay, K. I gotta ask you, sis. I gotta ask you the question. And it hurts my heart to have to ask you this. It really do.
It ain't gonna hurt your heart.
It hurts my heart. Oh,
get it out.
To have to ask you this.
Get it out.
Okay, what happened?
Didn't I tell y'all from the start that it's paid entertainment, and then that guy last week it said it's paid entertainment. We still who we are. We still the Chiefs. Y'all seen the game like I did. They didn't call nothing. We got all the flags. We got all the penalties. We got fingers pointed at us. But everything we did, they called it. Like, we know how it goes. It's paid entertainment. I knew, let me tell y'all, I'm a football person. I just talk stuff. But when that man put $3.44 million on the Buccaneers, I knew it was history for the Chiefs because they not going to let that man lose that money. Y'all better not let me lose that money. And he ain't the only one. He's just the only one they talked about. It was money. They put too much money on the Buccaneers. Some millionaires wasn't losing their money. So I'm okay with that. Kansas City, we big people. They say put on your big boy draw. They got on their big boy draw. They all right.
Okay, let me ask you this question now. How's the atmosphere? What's the tone like? What's the climate like there in Kansas City now that y'all didn't win? What's the climate?
Oh, sure. We still winners. Y'all gotta understand that. You a winner just because we win that game. We still winners. We went to the Super Bowl. Who else did? We went to the Super Bowl and we went back to back. We didn't have to win. We went. We did run it back. We was there.
That high potent offense, only 9 points, and all of them came off somebody's foot.
That's cool though. They okay. They got something. They had to they had to get something. Like I'm with that man. I'm with that man, like he said. Like I said when I told y'all that, and y'all told me, yeah, ain't no pay. It is paid entertainment. These people are professionals.
Now, let me ask you a
They
question.
are trained to do that stuff.
Now, if Kansas City would have won, and you called in this morning, and they won, and they had won the Super Bowl yesterday, back-to-back champions, would you say the same thing, paid entertainment, or would you have said that Kansas City?
I would have still said yes. I would have still said it's paid entertainment, like I told Kansas City when we won last year, and I had so many people. I said, come on, y'all, they can't. Like they made wrestling so obvious that we couldn't help but to come to grips that it's fake. As a kid, I didn't know that. I had to grow up and continue to watch it to realize, oh, okay. So I understood paid entertainment more and more and more. Okay. And then as I got into sports, I just paid more attention to it. I'm still a fan and all of that, but that's why I don't go out my way. I don't spend a lot of money. Oh, I gotta have that. But I'm a fan. I'll be a fan for life. I will always be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Believe it or not, the Buccaneers used to be my team. They put Brady a Brady fan. So I was like, I can't even root for them. I said, when did Brady go to that team? That's trifling. I'm cool, y'all. I'm still a winner.
Rico talking to you. Rico saying something to you. I don't know what he's saying over there. What you say,
Rico? What you saying, Rico? He ain't saying nothing. His throat hurt. He trying to get some more count.
Man, this is some of the funniest stuff I ever heard in my life. Man, look, they set up and rigged the score. Them aliens came and put on that football uniform. They put on a referee uniform. They didn't even know the game. They didn't want to throw in flags. The jets that flew over the game was not jets. They had chemtrails, sprayed the referees in the players. Man, I done heard it all, but y'all going,
Does it make sense to you, Rico? Does it make sense to you?
Man, no.
Look, let me go to my phone line. Hold on for a minute. We got a caller from I think that's Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Got another caller. Caller, we're coming to you next.
Good morning.
Toussaint, what did you see yesterday, man? What did you see? Did you look at the game?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I don't watch the game. Make your blood pressure go up.
Oh, okay. You didn't miss a whole lot, brother.
See how y'all talk? No, I didn't. See, y'all thought y'all was going to win.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you. Well, you had it.
Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come.
Look, see how she fixing it up?
Yeah.
See how you fixing it?
Still a winner.
That's not what the scoreboard said.
That's okay, but we still a winner. Most teams usually get to the Super Bowl. Let's go back to back.
Didn't I say that? She said that they still.
Yeah. It's not the problem. It's how you look at it, right?
Mm-hmm. Talk to me, Donald. Talk to me. Help me understand this thing, Donald.
How that's working out for you? For the ring.
You know what? I told y'all if they win or they lose, I'm still gonna be good. They gonna stop me from eating good and pray to God, but you know they okay.
and look here.
They didn't get the full check, but they got half.
And that's right, and they gonna get a triple play next year because how many people went to Super Bowl 3 years in a row? 3. They going back to Super Bowl, and they gonna give it to them next year. That's how they did it. They took the first Super Bowl from us and gave it to Brady. Then the second year they let us win.
They took
then the third year they gave it back to Brady.
Well, wait a minute. Don't they have other teams in the NFL?
They just in there to make it look good. I really do believe in paid entertainment. I really do.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing how. I remember the whole season. You were talking about Kansas City the whole way through. Ever since you've been coming on, you've been talking about. Kansas City. I never heard you say anything about paid entertainment until now, though.
No, I told you that before, but that man said it, and y'all said, that ain't no paid entertainment.
He said that Friday. He said that Friday, though. But, Kay, you've been calling in for a couple of months now, and this man.
I said it before him. I said it, and y'all told me no. And he said it. That was confirmation.
Okay.
That was confirmation. I said it before him.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Remember when we did the show? You ain't talking about nothing.
Yes.
Then we go again.
Ain't talking about nothing. But listen, let me do this, and I'm gonna go to Toya. I think we have Toya with a T. Toya with a T. But let me say this though. Even before I go to Toya, let me say this though. Kay, I appreciate you though, because you called in. So I didn't think you were gonna call in today. I said, oh man, she ain't calling in today. But you called in.
I had a blessed weekend. Why wouldn't I call in? God blessed me to have breath in me. I can see, I can talk, I can eat, I can breathe, I can think. I'm gonna call in. And I ain't gonna never. I don't put my money on no game. I love games.
And you can reflect on that game. Oh, I ain't mean to say that, Kay. Excuse me.
I can reflect on that game. I can reflect on that game. They had a lot going on. Coach Reed wasn't in the game. His son almost killed the little boy, drunken driver. They had a lot going on.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on.
Now that reason it sounds a lot better. That sounds a lot better. They had a lot going on. They were slightly distracted.
None of what they had going on. None of what they had going on was on the field, though. None of that was on the field.
I don't even think Kansas City was there. I think they left all their stuff here. They didn't even want. They left Kansas City, I think, that Thursday or Friday. They got down there Saturday or something. They didn't even rush to Florida or to Tampa. So, they didn't even rush there. And I was like, they ain't entertaining. My sister, they was clean as a whistle. My sister said, why would you say they ain't gonna win? I told my sister, I talk football. I said, but they got too much money on the Buccaneers. Those people are not getting ready to lose that much money. I said, so my daughter was mad at me at the game yesterday because I kept telling them. I said, Mama, they ain't even started yet and you burning bread on them. I said, there's too much money riding on the Buccaneers. Yeah. Now that's real talk. Okay. Pay attention.
Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, y'all. Hello.
Hey.
At the Super Bowl.
Hey, did you look at it? Did you look at the Super Bowl?
No, honey, they don't get my energy like that.
Okay.
So I stopped doing sports. Watching sports gives them my no. I don't do that. I don't do them things.
It wasn't too much to look at. I tell you that.
Well, congratulations, whoever won. Let me tell you something. One of these days, when I get to the account with them and make some money, I'll watch it.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Don't say congratulations to Kansas City because they ain't show up. But anyway, the other team did really well. The other team did really well.
Well, listen. You know what? I'm not in the sports like that no more. But I'm in Atlanta, so I rep Atlanta, and I don't think I can talk about nobody, right?
Yeah.
So
Atlanta ain't doing nothing.
I don't do all that. First of all, listen, I'm a star loser. Right? And I got a whip for losers years ago. That's why I stopped doing sports, period. Because I'm from New York, right? We was losing for a long time. I'm a star loser. So that's how I got away from sports in the first place. But I stopped entertaining people. 9 million people gonna tell me what happened at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna get it down from watching. I'm gonna spend more money. When I did entertain the Super Bowl, you spend money at the Super Bowl party, people come to your house, knock stuff up, get stuff up, throw up all kind of carrying on. I've always just lost when it came to the Super Bowl. With me, especially in Atlanta, I stopped giving my energy to that years ago. But hey, y'all, I'm not mad. I love the winners. Right? The Buccaneers, hey, if that's what you want, go ahead and make it. I'm with Kay, though. I ain't gonna tell no lie. I feel like all of these sports now, I feel like a lot of the things we do in the world now, they're like stage hyped up, paid entertainment type. It's not the actual, physical, really real way that we would play sports. Rucker Park sports, you know what I'm saying? Outdoor sports, but hey, it is what it is. I ain't mad at it. I ain't not nobody. Go whoever gonna win and whoever wants, congratulations, and go ahead and have a better year next year. Whoever. But if you lost, it is what it is because your mind ain't in the game. Like, what's wrong with the Falcons? So, like I said, because I'm in Atlanta, because I'm working where I stay. I don't get it.
Ain't nothing going on in sports in Atlanta. We got every team you want, but ain't now when I'm winning nothing. Ain't now when I'm winning nothing. I can't remember when the last championship came here. Last championship came here was that soccer. With that soccer team. That was the last one. And
I'm telling you, and whoever I say something to, I don't care. I can say something to Team Venezuela. Hey, where you from? Atlanta? Oh no, you know been talking to us. Oh, you never was.
Exactly.
You never went to the 1940s. What you mean? Like, so I just be like, no.
Hold on, Toya. Was that your Venezuelan accent that you just gave us?
Oh yes, that's what it was. We don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
We don't know. You don't win nothing. Who are you to talk about us when we don't win?
Rico,
you don't win nothing.
Rico, them people Venezuela gonna call in and cuss us out for letting her represent them like that. But
give him my number.
Exactly. So let me ask you this question though. What is the difference? And Cam, come to you next because I want to hear your perspective on it as well. But what is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
One is good and one is bad.
Explain it to me.
Okay, well, me, I'm like, I can hate as much as I love. I'm a very sweet person. I love to be a sweet person. I love kisses and giggles and just fun and just buy stuff, like my people stuff. Like, I like all of that. I like to bring joy to the world. But don't cross me, because I blow the world up too at the same time. It's not just twisted.
So which
blow the world up and be my butt in trouble and be in jail 25 years of life somewhere because certain violations, I didn't think you was gonna get mad because I took your car and hit it around the corner. What? Oh yeah, you didn't know I was gonna run you over with it either. Because I'm just so sweet. No, I never would have thought you would did nothing like that. Well, don't be assuming what I'm gonna do. You're gonna take my car. All I do is be good to you, be nice to you, and you're gonna take it hide around the corner to try to make you think that you stole. Okay, well you get ran over. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna make the police take me down and give me the keys out from the jail and let myself up.
Now, Tori, that's either murder or attempted murder, right?
I don't care. Ask Yana. You can keep. You give me the keys beforehand. Call premeditated, right? Because I'm very mindful. I just told them I'm a sweet person. That's what I do. I don't bother nobody. I'm not no bully. There's a long list of things that I do not do that I try to pride myself in. Now, if you got something you want to say to me, you can say it. But when you think you're going to do me any kind of way or at the level of disrespect, and again, even with that, at the first time you take the car and hide it, I'm not going to say anything. But time number 6, I done told you the third time. Next time you do it, I'm going to run you over with it. Straight up. Don't do me like that. I don't require, I don't seek to be deceived or mistreated or abused. So as I've gotten older, all one or two things is gonna happen.
Which one has more to it? The love, you can love somebody, or you hate when you hate somebody. Which one has the most force behind it?
The wicked side of me. That's why I just don't bother nobody and stay out the way. This is the Lord working on me.
Okay.
There's some temper and bottling it up over time. You know what I'm saying? We take that stuff for granted, and then you train yourself slickly. That's what it is. When you're losing self-control, you're kind of training yourself how not to have control, and then one day that feeling comes and that feeling rules you. And you can be in trouble for a very long time. Even if it is the right thing to do, just like me going to jail because that boy put his hands on me and I put my hands on his back. Right? On this side of the atmosphere at 40, I feel like, hey, girl, you could have did that different. Right? But then it was just, no, you're not going to put your hands on me and I'll let you go. Right? But I have better chance now at 43 of you taking a chance to put your hands on me and me being woman enough to muscle it and suck it up and walk away and never deal with you again, it's a whole lot higher chances of you doing that now at 43 than you could have done to me at 25.
Good day. Let me go to K. Absolutely. Hold on one second. Let me go to KK. What do you say to that? What is the difference between your love and your hate? Okay, you there? Mute button, hit it. Boop, 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 boop. K with an E. K with an E. Okay. We'll come back to K. She's having an issue with a mute button over there. Badger, what do you say to that? What's on your heart, brother?
How you know I'm having an issue with my mute button? I was definitely having an issue with my mute button.
I knew what it was. I said she having an issue with that mute button over there. We'll come back to her. But what is the difference? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
Like I said earlier, you know, I think hate comes.
Hold on, Badger. Let me catch up with her. I'm gonna come right back to you. Go ahead, okay.
I really try not to hate. I try not to hate. I just have a dislike. I love everybody, no matter what. You can do whatever. I still love you, but I tell a person, you got to worry about, do I like you? Because I love you. I'm commanding. I have to love you, so I love you. That's something I have to do.
Okay.
It's love you, but I don't have to like you. So if I don't like you, then you have an issue.
Okay, let me say this to you. Let me step in. Let me step in 1 second, Ken, and say this because I had a conversation with somebody. I posted this thing, last night before last. I think it was last night. And somebody said that something similar to what you're saying, and what I said to them, and I think I said it to Badger earlier as well, is hate is an emotion, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for people to say, well, I don't have hate, and I try not to hate, but it is an emotion. It's an emotion, just like fear, and just like other emotions that we have. We all have those emotions, and to say that, and I understand where you are, and I definitely appreciate where you are. But when I heard somebody say, I don't have any hate, you do, because whether you exercise or whether you show it, it is one thing, but to say you don't have it, I think that's a totally different conversation. Well, go ahead, sister.
I don't hate people. I hate liver. And I can honestly tell you, I hate liver. Some things I just hate. I hate liver. I hate certain stuff like that, but I don't hate people. I might hate what somebody do. I hate that you do that. I hate that you do that.
Okay.
And I'll tell a person
that's good.
But I don't hate you as an individual. If I use the word I hate you, like I hate you, then I'm just using it to get up under somebody's skin. Like I have a friend and he'll call me and I'm like, quit calling me, I hate you. And hang up and start laughing, and he'll call me right back. You don't got no hate in your heart. You just like to use the word. And, and it's like a joke to him because he knows me. And I don't have no hate. But I hate what you do. You just it get on my nerves. That's the only way I really use the word hate. And that's the only way it's even exercised in my life. I hate certain foods or something like that, or hate what a person do, or I hate that type of car. I hate that or something, but to hate people as an individual, I don't hate people. I just dislike you, but I don't hate people. And I can get over the dislike if you come correct and really truly from the heart corrected. But I just don't hate. I don't have a hate in my body like that. And I can honestly say that. I hate things. I don't hate individuals.
You hate actions, basically. Okay, that's good. Let me.
Yes, I can hate your actions.
Let me go to Badger, and then we got another caller. Call him coming to you next. Badger, what's on your heart?
Well, like I said, my opinion of early at the beginning, I'm still a firm believer that fear is what causes hate. Like you grow up in an abusive home or things like that, you get so afraid of letting anyone get close, or certain things happen that the fear of it just causes you to hate things. That's something I experienced personally. Because I know I have hate for some things, but I don't accept it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be a hateful person.
Yeah.
So,
do you agree with me when I say that hate is an emotion and we all have it, whether we exercise it or not, or how we deal with it or handle it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Yeah, I said
Okay.
that earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel fear is what causes the hatred, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Good deal. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Right here, it's Kurt, man. Calling from Baltimore City.
Kurt, what's going on with you, man? How you doing this morning?
I ain't there on my way to Kurt on the Thursday channel. What's going on?
Well, Kurt, I know you watched that game yesterday, brother. You know, this is not our topic, but we're talking to everybody about the game. What did you see yesterday? What happened?
Man, you know what? Man, I watched the first 3 quarters, not trying it all.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say about that game is it's a shame that, you know, the league done got in the business of picking winners or losers. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
So do you think the referees was on assignment?
Yeah, without a doubt, man. The referees can completely alter the way players play in the game. I'm telling you what I know from being a player and a coach. You could have the number 1 team in the world. Let them take that field, and then the referees are flag happy. It completely destroys the morale of a team. The team starts to feel like, man, we can't do nothing right, or what we got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean? So now you start playing extra because you're trying to win. But it's just like we all seen the movie. You remember the movie? Remember the Titans?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You remember the referee? They just kept calling them for anything. And they eventually had to like put it on blast. Like, look, if you don't call this game down the middle, and you don't call this game fair, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell on all y'all. So I mean, it's just, to me, man. It's I watched the league do it again. They just gave more of a point spread at this time, but I watched the league do it again. The league picked the winner, and they went with it. And the referee corps, they all went with it, man. I mean, we all know in football, there's a holding penalty on every play on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Every play. But for some reason, man, I mean, when you watching the game and you see 5 holding penalties back to back on the most simplest of things, that some of that stuff was just a part of playing the game. You know, you're a wide receiver, you expected to get contact in the first 5 yards. That's an expectation. So I don't know, man. I attended a while back. You know, like I'm thinking about just getting away from the NFL altogether. I mean, we got the XFL coming that's owned by a black man.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that I'm gonna lay my hat on that, man, and go back to college ball.
Good deal.
NFL to me it just showed me yesterday that it ain't as genuine as we have grown up to believe it was. So I'm not with it. Even though I gotta go and buy a TB12 jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go and buy one because I bet my son that he wouldn't even make it. So I gotta go and buy my jersey, but I would buy that jersey with every bit of hesitation that I have in my body.
Good deal. Now let me ask you this question, Kurt. What is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference?
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat with a few people on this show. Like, I'm sorry, Rodney, but I don't have a hateful bone in my body.
Again, I gotta say the same thing, brother. You know, whether we act on it or not, hate is an emotion, and we have all kind of emotions. I understand what you're saying, but hate is an emotion. I may be overstepping myself, but I just don't think that anybody could say that they just was not given that emotion when they were given all the other emotions. Now, whether they act on it or not, that's one thing, and I can appreciate that. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Well, you're right in saying that it is an emotion, but in all reality, hate. Let me correct some things. Hate, in all reality, is not an emotion. It is an action perpetuated by an emotion.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Hate, in all reality, is something you do as a result of anger, disappointment, abuse, neglect. I think sometimes we too often actually get caught in that hate is a feeling. It's really not. It is the action, the result of a feeling that one has.
But I can actually say something about that as well, because love is the same thing. Love is an emotion. Love is an emotion that we have. Hate fear is an emotion. I mean, people say I don't have any fear, but yet and still, like I said earlier, if you walk through your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, let me see. I'm having the feedback when somebody's lying.
Oh no,
you walk through your house at 2 o'clock. Go ahead.
Oh, I can go with the love factor, because there's a difference between love and hate. Love is a force that is already there.
Mm-hmm.
Hate is a force that is perpetuated by something. Love, you can have love without it being perpetuated by anything. Hate is something that is perpetuated by something else.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, those are two things. But once again, I wasn't brought up, I wasn't indoctrinated in the world of hate. So I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can be angry, but you know me, even my anger will only, oh man, I'm too crazy. Even my anger will only last but for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I understand what I stand to gain and what I stand to lose by having too much of that lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've always known that even as a child, like, you know, I used to look at, like, for example, my daddy was real quick to be angry and hateful. And I always looked at what that got him. And I'm like, well, it ain't get him nothing, so it ain't going to get me nothing. So I just never was cut from that cloth.
Now I'm gonna say this right here, Kurt. I'm gonna say, and hold on, because I want to go to Goddess just came, and I want to go to her as well. But would you agree with me if I said that a part of what we're talking about right now is, and I'm listening to what everybody's saying, but love is acceptable. Love is acceptable, and hate is not. Hate is pretty much frowned upon. Is that why we're having a issue with it? Kurt?
Oh, you talking? I thought you were going to talk to somebody else.
No. I said
because you still with me?
Yes.
I can't even go with that, because in this world that we living in right now, hate is the more acceptable behavior. In this world we living in right now, hate is the more acceptable behavior. If you look at what's going on, and you look at the mass murders, you look at the murdering of people, you look at the storming of the Capitol, you look at everything that's going on, hate has become a norm. That's not to say that it's right.
But that don't mean it's acceptable. That don't mean that it's acceptable either, though, Kurt. That don't mean that it's acceptable. It don't mean that it's acceptable. It's more acceptable. It doesn't mean that.
Well, so make me understand. What you're saying to me is that a behavior that you're seeing from a percentile.
Let me say it like
25%.
Let me say it like this.
Up to 90%. You're saying that that's not acceptable. I can't go with that. That don't make sense.
My thing is this right here. Now, if you talk to anybody and you ask them the question, what would they rather have in their life? If you ask anybody, what would they rather have in their life? They're going to tell you they'd rather have love in their life at any time, any point in time or quarter, over hate. They would rather have love. Love is more acceptable because more people want to be loved. Nobody want to be hated or frowned upon or treated badly. No one wants that. Everybody wants to be loved. Love is the one thing that everybody wants.
Okay, I get that. Well, let me expound to that. The reason why that person would choose love over hate, honestly, is because realistically, you know what's right. That's number one. Number two, nobody wants to expose themselves like that. See, now, if you ask me that question, I say, well, I choose hate over love any day of the week. I have just exposed myself for you to then come back and say, well, what's going on that you choose this hate? I don't want to tell you that, you know what, when I was 12 years old, a dude that looked like you, or a dude that looked like Rico, or that looked like Badger, beat me up every day of the week for 5 weeks. I don't want to tell you I got beat up every day for 5 weeks. So the safer choice to choose in asking that question, the safer choice out of the two to choose is to say, oh, I choose love over hate any day of the week. You have people, you got to understand the science in it. You have people who don't even realize that their addiction, their drug of choice, is the endorphins that's released in their brain for anger. They don't even realize that. So the hate thing, when you tie it in, it ties into some form of anger. The anger in your mind releases these endorphins. People don't even know that they're addicted to that. So if you look at what's going on in the world, it's obvious that hate is leading the way over love. You can just look at what happened with the Capitol building. That was all hate-based, hate-filled. People calling for this lady to get shot in the head and they want to hang the vice president. That's hate. If you look at the messages, the subliminal messages that have been sent to those very same people over the last 4 years, it was all messages of hate. It was wrapped in a nice bowl, boxing bowl, but it was all messages of hate. Well, where did that hate come from? It came from the fact that folks were in fear, like Badger said, of losing some kind of status and or position,
That's
which
good.
caused the anger, which then caused the hate.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull some more people into the conversation. I want to go to Goddess right now, and Goddess, good morning. I'm going to say good evening. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
Now, you sure now? You know that it didn't go like you wanted it to go yesterday.
You know what? It went exactly the way it was gonna go, because Tom Brady always brings his little cheating referees with him. So,
wow, Tom Brady assigned the referees to the Super Bowl.
He got certain ones that always follow him.
Okay, Rico shaking his head. I'm trying to figure out why Rico's shaking his head. No, over there, Rico. What's going on, brother?
My mute button got stuck on that one, man. That's it, man. Now Tom Brady run the referee show. Oh my goodness, man! Everybody bow down to Tom Brady.
Everywhere he go, he cheating. You know it. You know it. You know it.
Oh man, that's sad.
To make matters worse, they even did an analysis of how many calls that was called on Kansas City, and it was like some ungodly amount. Like,
I want to know this: what reason or what is it that Tom Brady? What is the Tom Brady got going on and just make the NFL just say, you know what, he's our guy?
You know what? I'm gonna say he's a cold piece of work. they got some good. I'm gonna put it toward the coach, because that black coach is a cold piece of work. He gave them some plays that was really, really awesome, and I give him that. But Mahomes, he young, he gonna tear Tom's butt up next year. I ain't even worried, not worried at all, and I ain't even really in football, but I ain't worried.
Okay. It's amazing, boy. Look at all these weeks we've been hearing Kansas City, woo! Kansas City this, Kansas City, woo! They doing a little dance, Rico, and all that little. They breaking it down and all kind of stuff, and they say Kansas City gonna win, and now we done went to Tom Brady being the official referee, a signer,
cheater, official cheater.
Oh, that was, and now we done went to it's a paid thing, and it's paid, bought and paid for, and I ain't heard none of this a couple of weeks ago when they were doing all the winning. I didn't hear all this. Rico.
Yes, you did.
I didn't hear all this. Okay. Maybe my hearing aid was turned down a little low, and it got past me. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. Maybe it did. It got past you, just like your team never made it. So I got you.
Lord, watch you. Boy, look at boy. When they win, it's a beautiful thing, boy. But when it don't go that way, oh my God, all kind of stuff come out the woodworks. But guys, I need to ask you a question though. What is the difference between your love and your hate?
My love and my hate. My love is awesome. My hate is horrible. Don't ever put me in a position where I have to hate you. That's just where I'm at. And so, yeah. I used to always say, oh, I don't believe in hate and all that. I can never hate someone. I'm 53 years old. Yeah, I can hate you. Because, I didn't learn certain things in life. People are demonic. And when you run across a real demonic spirit, you're going to hate that spirit.
Yeah.
You better not love it. You better not like it. You better not none of that. I'm going to hate that spirit. There's a whole difference in it. Not I ran across it in my lifetime. And trust and believe I hate that spirit. And it better not come around me. It better not stick close to me. And better not be around me. Because if I hate it, I got to remove myself from that presence.
Exactly. That's good. Shira Strong, what's on your heart, sister? Shira? Did we lose her? Let me see. Oh, we lost you. Shira, if you get a chance, give us a call back, sister. Give us a call back. Leonard, talk to me. Leonard? Oh, there you go. What's on your heart, Leonard?
Not a whole lot. Just thinking about, how you put the topic. I'm really more into how Curtis explained it. Because everybody ain't hateful. I especially one of the meditation is against that hateful notion and not getting into the place where you hate. So it ain't.
That's good.
Hate don't work.
That's good.
Hate don't work for everybody.
I like how you said that, not giving into the hate. And that's pretty much where I was, because everybody have that emotion. And I always say it's based on how you react and your how you respond to it. And so to have it, and to have you say the way you respond to it, that's perfect, man. Go ahead, brother. That's perfect.
Because like you said, hate comes from something else. Love is a lot more genuine. You initiate love. You love something. You love people or what have you. Some people hate things that people do, but they don't really hate the person. Because one, I practice meditation and I address hate differently than a lot of people. Like, say, for instance, you all have some reason to believe that your Christianity somehow prevents you from hating, or I can't remember what it is, some Bible verse about this, that, or the other, but I don't have any love for my enemy. I don't know how you all do that. I don't. So, and I know God is hateful.
Mm-hmm.
So one, it's being able to control that emotion because I'm not all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not all knowing. So to even get to the point where something is resulting in hate, there's a whole bunch of other psychology behind it. I have a book next to my bed called Why I Hate Republicans. And it's full of those things, the legislation and the way things have been handled by that particular party, that once you look at it, you know, yeah, I hate the party.
Mm-hmm.
Because because of what they do. Because of their agenda. You hate people because of something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but see, you can love someone just because you're a loving person.
How can your love letter? How can your love supersede that hate that you have for an individual, an act, or whatever it is? How can your love supersede that?
If you look at people as yourself,
mm-hmm.
if you look at people as human beings that have behavior,
mm-hmm.
it's very easy to do that. Mm-hmm. My mother used to do it. I don't hate anybody. I just hate your behavior right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, hate is a very strong word.
Yes, it is.
Hate is usually you're going to exercise some power
mm-hmm.
when it comes to hate.
Mm-hmm.
It's more action. It's the result of something. That's why you hate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
You know, love heals you. Love heals you. Hate don't heal you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hate does not heal at all.
As a matter of fact, does hate cut you deeper? Make the wound a little deeper than what it should be?
No, not really. Like, say, for instance, you don't have to be in a rage or anything. One, I can shoot you in the head and not blame.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It's completely unemotional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be what it requires at the time.
Wow.
It has nothing to do with hatred. You just may be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to hate you. You just may be a threat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can get that. I can get that. Let's go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
When I think about hate, love and hate, one I cleave to, and the other one I shun from.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I avoid hate things that I hate.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even say people that I hate, but I avoid things that they do at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
I may not like you to a very extreme, like people that so discourse,
mm-hmm.
people that always have drama in their life, people that run their mouth too much,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
people that's always trying to set somebody up, manipulate,
mm-hmm.
and you know they always got something to make themselves feel like they the top dog,
mm-hmm.
or they bigger than you, or they got more than you. I don't have a love for none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just avoid it.
Yeah.
Avoid those people too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come around me. Get on somewhere.
Yeah.
Get somewhere and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, big eyes. You know how some people feel like the best thing since sliced cheese or white bread.
Come on.
I don't even give them time to think.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, when I love a person, it does not matter where they come from, what they're doing, what their status in life is.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the love, because of what love is and who love is, I'll do anything for them.
Yeah.
I don't even have to lie to them.
Mm-hmm.
See, love will make you lie.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you say, I'll never do nothing for him.
Mm-hmm.
But then the love of God that comes in and say, oh, yes, you will.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for those that despitefully use you.
Come on.
Oh, yes, you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go into something that happens in your life, because of the love of it or the love of that person.
Love is a beautiful thing.
Extremely.
Mm-hmm.
Make you do wrong when you want to do right.
Oh Lord, don't sound okay. Let me go to somebody else. Oh, this brother want to sing. But you're absolutely right, brother. Love is a beautiful thing, man. And but I don't know if love is always fully embraced as it should be. Rico, what do you say to that? Is love always fully embraced in the way that it should be? Toy, you come to you next.
No, I mean, and to be honest with you, everybody don't know what love is. You know, people think they have an idea. To be honest with you, some people use the word just to get or to manipulate others to get what they want. I mean, we live in a manipulative society. So to me, you know what I'm saying, a lot of it ain't number sound words that come out your mouth. You got to prove love. You know what love is when you feel it. You can see it better than you can hear it. You can tell me you love me all day long, and you can say you love something all day long, but I can look and tell what you love. I can look and tell what you love. And the thing is with this love and hate thing, you know, it is complicated, and you can leave it up to human beings to make it more complicated. You know, trying to actually narrow it down and break it down when you really can't break it down like that. Hate is an emotion and it's an action too. You have hateful people. You have people that desire to go around the world and kidnap women and not only rape them, but kill them. That's their intention, to look for somebody vulnerable and fulfill their addiction or their craving. And that craving may come from the urge to like to see women die or feel to lose their lives in the palm of their hands, and watch their eyes lose that energy, watch that turn color, watch the life leave out of them. Some sick, hateful people that want to see people die. Now they sick, but they hateful. And I hear these people say, you know, I'm hateful. I don't have a hateful bone in my body and this and that. Man, listen, I hate Jeffrey Dahmer. I hate Ted Bundy because I know what their main goal in life was. Their main goal in life was to hurt human beings. They were totally against good and totally against helping people of being sincere. There was no love in them. You know, their whole motivation was to kill and take life. You know, I hate what they did, but I also hate them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because they had a choice, you know, to say that I'm gonna let this person live, to not take the life of this person. So many people. I mean, you got serial killers and stuff like that, man, that, you know, they really are hateful. Some of them deranged, some of them just, you know, they got a craving. They got something against people. They hate life. They hate certain people. So, you know, for us to just go with this big kumbaya, I am what Jesus is. I walked in Jesus. Man, stop it. Y'all hate some stuff.
And that's why
it sounds good for the radio station, and it sounds good to be politically correct. But the human side of us hates something.
And that's why I was saying that and that's why I was saying that hate is an emotion just as love and fear is all emotions, and we all have emotions. It's all about how we act. May not always act on it. We may not always act on it or do things hateful or whatever the case, but it doesn't mean that we don't have it. It doesn't mean
different reasons. It's for different reasons. It could be fear, or it's just the fact that it just ain't right, and you don't like to see other people in pain. You don't like to see people being victimized.
Exactly.
I've never been raped. I've never been molested. I mean, I know women that have, but I don't know what that feels like. I've never had it happen to me. I am not a woman. I have never been forced to do some things that some women have been forced to do. But I have men to do that.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with fear. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's just so many different reasons why so many different people hate and do the things they do. It's just, you know, we as human beings can complicate this matter and confuse people more.
Exactly. Throw you with a T.
Instead of just keeping it plain out and saying, you know what, yeah, it's some things I hate.
Exactly.
Man.
Good deal. Toy, you with a T. What's on your heart, sis?
No, I agree. It's definitely a little bit harder for us to be honest, and you know, we're so inside of ourselves, you know. And love is an action, just like hate is an action. You know what I mean? So, I think oftentimes we get caught up in our emotions and feelings, and not, you know, understand that our emotions and feelings still equate to love or hate. You know what I mean? And oftentimes we want to make a different category. Love is good, hate is bad. It is what it is. You know, but because we're human, can we get that intertwined? You know, absolutely. And then, you know, we don't want to admit and acknowledge it, then we really can never, you know, get rid of it. Even if it's not you. It doesn't take away the fact that it's another person. It's a KKK individual that hates me because the color of my skin, and I can love all if I want to. If I cross the path with someone of that nature, right, it's a possibility that my love may not be enough to keep them from hurting me. But it might be enough to keep me from hurting them when the opportunity is there. Or because you got to understand that these are just forces, whether I indulge in it or not. And like I said, I love to love. I love to love people. But right, you put me against the KKK, you're gonna be like, oh well, how you gonna love people? And you did that to him after he tried to do that to you. You know what I'm saying? It's always that standard that when it suits us, it's when it's best capable. But you can never push and judge a person. You just never know. And when you start looking on the line of bad circumstances in a hateful way, I mean, you can't help but to respond that way if the situation is bad enough. So therefore, yeah, I think we do all have it. And yes, I think it's much more easier for us humans to complicate these things. But we got to understand it's all about what we do as well. You know, what you might not kill anybody, right? But there's a lot of baby mamas that hate their baby daddy, right? Because of some of the things they've endured, you know, and they walking around with this kind of energy and hate, whether it be towards men, towards cheaters, towards liars, towards whatever. And it's an action that's fueled behind that. That's going to determine, all right, what the real deal is. You know, and oftentimes it can come because of a crossed up love, where you can hate a person. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think that, like someone else said earlier, when you can acknowledge, you know, those capabilities, then you can control that. Because if you get caught in a situation to where you don't want to acknowledge that as a human being, you can't get like that. Then again, you know, a lot of people who are in situations never thought they would be in those situations and never thought they would react like that in those situations and are now in some big situation. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think Rico's absolutely right. You know, it's something that that's what you do, because that's what that means. We kind of come with that whether we engage in it or not.
Exactly. Badger, let me ask you this question. We're talking about what is the difference between your love and your hate. Has there ever been a time in your life, and you could go as deep into it if you want to, or as you like, or you don't have to, but where you said, I can't believe I got that angry? Badger? Oh, got your beauty. Hold on. There you go.
Hey, you muted me when I was going to say something.
There you go.
It's, yeah. I mean, there's a couple times I've gotten angry because of me letting what other people say affect me.
Was that fueled by some kind of hate or something like that, or it's just situation that happened?
Well, hate's not an emotion.
Hate is an emotion.
Hate is a feeling that can cause an anger or resentful emotional response.
Emotional. Thank you.
It causes an emotional response. It's not the emotion.
We're not going to agree on this, but I say that it's an emotion. But go ahead.
Well, I'm looking at definitions and what the rest of the world says. That's fine. Agree to disagree.
Okay, we can go there. Go ahead.
But it's the dislike and upsetness of watching someone try to manipulate my wife is what caused my anger. But it didn't come from a place of hatred. It came from a place of anger. I don't really approach anything from a place of hatred. It's usually tied to anger or great dislike for something that somebody's doing or their actions.
Okay, that's good. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Brother Wale, assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Walaikum assalam, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing excellent. I was listening to the call of the other guest to speak on hatred, and I don't know how far you got in the show, but you kind of told me what the theme was today, and if you don't mind, you may want to repeat it so I can frame my response according to where you guys are now.
Okay. Well, we're asking the question, what is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference between your love and your hate? And what we already were talking about, whether hate and love and all these different things are emotions. And if they are, don't everybody have those emotions, whether they act on them or not? A lot of times I said love is acceptable and hate is not. In a lot of situations, love is acceptable and hate is not. More people will want to be loved than to be hated or have that feeling thrust upon them. So you can take it from right there, brother. What's on your heart?
Okay, I'm going to go from the actual perspective first. As men, we're seed providers. The women are nurturers because they carry the child in nature. The woman has more of a connectivity to the child because of the 9 months inside developing the seed to the baby. In that, when you love a child by nature because you created it, that is a natural response to something that is you. It is technically attached to you. Like, you don't have to say, I love my hand, my eyes, my foot. Because that's part of you, it would behoove you to go, I hate my feet or my eyes or whatever it is that you were given by nature. Now, because if we learn to go back to our teachings when Malcolm X even said, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate your color, your lips, your nose? That's a mindset which is manifested in media or something projected onto you. So you can hate, but really that's the emotion of not feeling that you're worthy. Now, to hate another outwardly, taking it off yourself, is an emotion that is also predicated upon fear and the threat of, like when white people hated us for wanting to live next to them or to sit with them in a lunch counter or to go to school with them. So that threat became physical, not something that we were threatened, the threat of their lack of survival, because we do have the melanated dominant gene, which in nature again would take over and reproduce more of us, which would dominate them. So that hatred became a survival, right? And I'm going to use this just because we've all done it. If you grew up in a part of the hood, you didn't want to wake up at night and see roaches scatter. So you hated them and you sprayed them and you raided them. You saw rats, you set rat traps, because the threat of them taking over was there. We, as human beings, and some of us who didn't practice being human, that emotion, which I agree with you, of hatred became the thought of the threat of another on us. So even that movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, I believe a lot of people should kind of compartmentalize and think, wait a minute, I love naturally. And I think I heard the brother say what caused them to have the feeling of hating somebody if they tried to manipulate his wife. Well, this is true because the threat of what may happen emotionally to your wife. So I think, yes, love is more of an acceptable relationship to yourself and the creator. Hate is a more developed emotion and usually outward manifestation and action from evil. So I'll leave it there. We can go ahead and bake this to the oven a little bit more.
Absolutely, absolutely. Goddess, what's on your heart, sister? Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. Everybody mute your line on the phone. Goddess, what's on your heart? Goddess, can't hear you, sis. Goddess, we can't hear you. Something going on with your line. Try now. Can't hear you, sister. I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, we can't hear you. K with the E, what's on your heart?
just listening, and I still say I don't have hate like that, and I just don't have it. I'm not a hateful person. I hate, like I say, I hate liver.
Exactly.
I hate people's actions. I hate people's actions.
Okay. Let me ask you this question.
I can hate things about people, but I don't hate people.
Exactly. And I could grant you that. Absolutely, I could grant you that. But let me ask you this though. Do you think that when I say that hate is an emotion and we all have them, some of us just choose to deal with them or interact with them differently and won't allow ourselves to go down that avenue? Would you agree with me when I say that?
Because you know what? That's what I was saying. Like the person can make me mad and I can be like, oh, I hate you.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you I only have one person that I say that to. Like, no one can say, Kate says she hates me because I don't hate people.
Yeah.
And when I say that to that person, I know it's just to get under their skin. But if you know me, you know I don't hate people. And they just laugh and off and make a joke out of it and everything. And I always start laughing and be like, ooh, I hate that you know that about me.
I got you.
I don't hate people. It's hard for me to hate a person. I don't care how wrong you do, how bad you are. I'm not gonna hate you. I'm not gonna hate you. I don't hate. I can't hate people.
Exactly.
I just can't do it.
And see, I can accept everybody's answer on that. You know, I feel the way that I feel about it, but I respect the way that you feel, and it will be totally wrong for me to come in and say, well, yes, you can. No, what right does it have for me to tell you anything about your life? That's your life, and you know it much better than I do. Let me go back to Goddess. Goddess, what's on your heart, sister?
Before you go to God, you know how some people don't really show emotions. Like I have a great nephew, and he's like 22, and he was like, he asked his mom and sister, now, why do people have feelings? Why do you have to show your emotions? Because his mom said, well, he doesn't show any emotions. And so he explained to her why. He said, because I watched you and Dad show y'all emotions towards each other, and y'all went from loving each other to like, y'all almost just hate each other.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do no emotional thing. I don't want to love, I don't want to hate. I don't want to do none of that. Like, you're my mom, that's my dad, and this is my sister. That's my grandma. You know, this is the immediate family. I don't care about Auntie Kay and them over there, and you know, their family and all that. And I love those guys. I don't hate them or anything, but he doesn't show any emotions. Like his mom got shot, and he wasn't all hysterical like his sister was, and he just showed no emotions. And I said, they put that in that little boy. So he's like, he really don't show no emotion at all. I don't know what's going to take to happen in his life for him to have most emotions, but he literally don't show any, no matter what we going through in the family, he doesn't have any emotions. He go in his room and he's inventing something, coming up with something, or he's reading a book. He's really highly intelligent, extra smart. He just doesn't show emotions, and he told us why. Couldn't knock him for it.
Exactly. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Good deal.
Okay. I just want to put it plain. I guess some people haven't been through enough certain situations in order to feel what hate is. They ain't never had a situation. When I use it, if I use that word, then it's definitely there. It's something that there's two different types of love. I teach my young girls that there's positive love and then there's negative attention. And it ain't all love. People got to realize that too. And then there's actual hate, you know. And I was sitting there watching Antebellum, and certain people just hate us being who we are as individuals. And I know that I could never have made it. I mean, that was a really, really good movie, because how many people could go through that time frame in 2021 and go back to the Civil War, pre-war slavery issues and still carry that same Christianity tune. A lot of people are all talk and no action. They talk that good game until they've been through something. I say that on real talk. Because I know when my nephew was killed by his best friend who we loved on throughout his whole for years, childhood. I used to tell my nephew, I said, nephew, I don't like that little boy. Something in that little boy. It wasn't what my nephew had. He wasn't rich. We wasn't rich, but he was rich in love. We showed him a whole lot of love. He had love of family. You know what I'm saying? And when you have love of family, people hate on that. People hate on it real tough. He even allowed this boy to wreck his new car. They got into a fight behind it, but the boy wanted to carry it on. You know, and that boy shot my nephew and stood over him and shot him like triple, double times. So do I have love for him? No, I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just certain things that I'm not getting ready to play with. I'm just not getting ready to play with nobody. And it is what it is. And you can call it hate, you can call it whatever it is. If you come out to me or anybody that I love in an ill-begotten manner, then you can call it, I don't care how, if it's on the legal tip, I don't care if it's on a street tip. On an ill-begotten manner, and there's no reason for it. See, that's what people fail to realize, like Rico was saying about, there are some people out here without no soul. They don't have a soul out here. You got some people that's in church that don't even have a soul. They talk a good game, but they don't have a soul. They love of money is more than anything. They love of being understood out here or being seen out here is more than what they action really is. Some people do stuff just to be seen out here.
That's true. That's true.
And they're not doing it out of the love of their heart full of love. They're doing it out here to be seen.
Good deal. Good. Let me keep this thing going. I want to go get another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller.
Good morning. This is Bishop.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed.
Good deal. Good to have you, sir. We're asking the question, what is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference between your love and your hate?
Love endures all things, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things. That's the love that I have. I try to see the positive in everybody and try to differentiate. There are things that people do that disappoints me or upsets me, but it doesn't put me down. I have so much hatred in my heart towards them, and I wish them ill. If I just been a religious broadcast station, things are great and they're great to be heard, but the reality is God told us to love our enemies. He didn't tell us not to hate our enemies, and God is, and I know we refer to God hating Esau but loving Jacob, and that's God. God did what he did, said what he said, and he did, and he put everything in perspective. But he told us to love our enemies. He said, love our neighbors as ourselves. And sometimes people do things to make you want to, knock them out, whatever. And we can have a total disdain with an individual. But who's prospering? Who's winning? Is God? Is you? Is you? Is the person? So the devil's only one that gets the victory when he divides and conquer. That's his job to steal, kill, and destroy. And when the devil comes in and do what he does, he uses individuals. God is saying these folks don't have a soul. Everybody has a soul. Actually, they don't have a conscience. The conscience is not their guide. Because when God breathed into man's breath of life, man became a living soul. So that man and woman are walking around on Thursday episode. The problem is they don't have a conscience. Their conscience is not towards other individuals. So this is why it's so important to know and understand. I've gone through a lot of things in my life, and people have done me all kind of ways. When I say you, all kind of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't appreciate it. And sometimes I say, man, if they step on the road, I wouldn't help them.
Yeah, you will.
And the other part of me says,
yeah, you will.
What it do with you?
Mm-hmm.
That here you go. So that's what it is. What it
Mm-hmm.
do you?
Mm-hmm.
So then I have to lay aside that self-grade. I have to lay him to the side.
Yeah.
And pick up the man I'm supposed to be representing, which is Christ Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Because Christ loved folks all the way to the grave. They betrayed him. They mistreated him. They did everything they could to him. Out of all he did, picked up ears and put them on, caused the deaf to hear, the dumb to speak, the blind to see, raised folks from the dead. And instead of them folks loving him enough to follow him and accept him,
Mm-hmm.
just like they do now. And God said something that's so true. These people go to church, but they don't really have a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
They do you any kind of way in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
They do you any kind of way in the name of God.
Wow.
Well, I'm deacon so-and-so, or I'm elder so-and-so, or I'm bishop so-and-so, or I'm pastor so-and-so. They talk about you. They betray you.
Mm-hmm.
They do all kind of stuff. They do it sitting around those four walls in the church. They shout and dance up and down the aisle.
Come on.
They ain't got no God in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have to deal with folks that don't have God in them.
Mm-hmm.
That draw nigh to God with their mouth, they honor with their lips, their heart is far from him. Imagine how God feels when he has done all that he has done for us. He created us and gave us dominion and authority over everything. And then we turn around and serve the devil as opposed to serving him.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how God feels.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So it's something to think about. Good topic this morning, bro.
Hey, appreciate it. Yes, sir. Good to have you. Good to have you. We're gonna go to Toussaint. Toussaint, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's on your heart, brother?
Yeah. I know that I know we all have our way of saying. I was thinking when God said people have no soul.
Hold on, Don. Everybody mute your line that's on the phone line. We're getting a little feedback from somebody's line. Everybody mute your line for me until I come back to you so we don't have that little popping sound. Go ahead, Don. Sorry about that.
No, and that may be in a sense that I believe, just me, you may be a heartless person, but you got a soul.
Mm-hmm.
And because even the soul that sinneth will die. See, but hate and love, the actions of it will make you do certain things, and you're going to be accountable for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say the thing that would, if love will make you do some things that you said you wouldn't do,
mm-hmm.
go a little further than what you said you was going to go. And let me just use this for an example, and I don't want to really throw around this, especially now. Grandchildren will make you lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stuff you said you wasn't going to do. Well, yeah, that's what you do.
Exactly. Quickly.
They show you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember my dad told me, he said, he told all of us, he says, y'all go to jail if you want to, acting a fool when you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, I'm going down there.
Yeah.
But when my nephew got in trouble,
mm-hmm.
one of my nephews, guess who went get him?
No.
And I said, well, I be doggone. I spent all my childhood life and most of my, as long as he was living, to try to stay out of jail because I knew he wasn't going to come. I believed that he was not going to come get me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But here's my nephew, his grandchild. And I remember in the first time, my child did something. I was going to get him. He said, don't you hit that boy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll be talking.
Something ain't right here.
You got nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Because he tried to beat you to sleep.
Exactly.
And so, you know, but hate, you see all of these, we got some of us too. Because white supremacists and Ku Klux Klan and skinheads, they're not the only one that hate. We got some hate in us. And people say, well, I don't let the hate of my past dictate to me. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. That's why you're always talking about it. The hurt of your past.
Yeah.
Causes you to react now because you probably hated some of the things that happened in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you conduct yourself the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
But is almost a, they say the thin line. I try to make that line thick because for love, I'll just cleave through to the until I can't have no more breath.
Mm-hmm.
But the hate, I ain't studying you.
Exactly.
I don't fool with you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I don't care how much, like Rico said, I don't care how much the love of God. I will not fool with you if you got some hateful ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to go to Rico. I'm going to order here. I'm going Rico, Wally, and then Badger. And Leonard, are you back with us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'm going to Leonard after that. Okay, so Rico, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I was just looking. You know, we've been back and forth trying to determine what the word hate is, whether it's a verb or a noun.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think we've been around long enough to know that some words can be both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we speak about this English language, this Western civilization, and that's one of the problems with Western civilization. We don't really have a real clarity of what words specifically mean.
Mm-hmm.
It means so many different things in so many different forms. With that being said, between what you and Badger was saying earlier, it was both. And then, you know, we I mean, like I said, having a platform like this and speaking, you know, I go along with Donald. Sometimes you just can't be out here saying nothing or just being just saying what you want to say to be right and then dismissing what the next person saying, because sometimes you can be saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our feelings and emotions were brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, to hear one person say, well, no, that's an emotion, and then go back and say the definition of feeling, I'm like, wait a minute, you should be agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
But looking in, people will see that sounds like that's a disagreement, that's confusion. So now here these two words are pretty much the same words, emotion and feeling.
Yeah.
So therefore there should be no discrepancy in that definition or that explanation of what hate is, because it is both emotion and a feeling. It's an action and a verb, you know. So I just want to put that part out there. And then on the second end of it, like I said, a strong dislike. A strong dislike. I think every human being, every living animal has a strong dislike for something.
Mm-hmm.
We want to admit it or not, that's what you call hate. You can look in every dictionary that they came up with, and when you see the definition of hate, you're gonna see the word dislike has to appear in there. And I don't think we like everything. I don't think we like Catholic priests that molest little boys and rape nuns and abort babies and bury them out there in the backyard of the monastery. We don't like that. We don't like racists. We don't like police cops putting knees on people's neck and watching them die on camera and screaming and holler for their mama. We don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It sounds good to say I don't hate nobody. I just got the love of Jesus and God all in me. Look, we are not perfect. God was perfect. We ain't perfect. Ain't nothing wrong. Admit you don't dislike some things. Admit that you dislike a lot of things strongly, and don't have a problem admitting that word equates to hate.
Mm-hmm.
They got to make the truth plain and simple.
Exactly. Wally, what's on your heart, brother? Wally, you there? Probably got your mute button.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it off. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to the brother's explanation, he was discussing the semantics of the word. That's key here, because when you frame it, you can take the semantics ingredients when you're making a cake or any food. You look at the ingredients to see what it is. So when we now can express the semantics, we know, put that there, we know hate or strong dislike. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we take it into life and death, if you go to war, now I've never been to the military, I've never had to shoot anybody, I've never had to put myself in the position to hate anybody to kill them, the human.
Yeah.
But when you go to war, if a person who goes to war, they develop a certain amount of self-preservation, and to preserve yourself, you better hate your enemy so you don't sit there and negotiate your life. Now, I say that because not ever having to look down the barrel of a gun, not ever being chased by a mob that is expressing hate on me, I know there is a difference between when they say loving your enemy, as Martin Luther King or whoever has put that out there who uses it. I think the semantics of that is an oxymoron and quite naturally silly. If you live around back in the day when people were integrating and they wanted to live around white folks and integrate, and the white folks expressed hatred to them, and you went in and, like Marvin Gaye said in the song, "What's Going On?" Only love can conquer hate. But at what cost? At what cost are you willing to love when someone else is hating you? When young people use the term, yo, he hating on me. Semantically, what they're saying is they envy me enough to not want to respect what I do. They don't hate you. So hating on you is now using like, yo, that's bad, that's death. We're playing with words. But in the essence of the real love and hate, we have to say, again, if I'm with somebody, I like how the sister said, I don't hate anybody. But you got to say, well, who do you love? We got to be careful with that too. You can't love everybody. Because if somebody's coming at you, if somebody's trying to manipulate or harm you, you're trying to use the word love. Now you're out of character with the action, let alone the semantics. So I think when we try to put this to us as a benevolent people, we as Black folks, we haven't hated enough to recreate this system and destroy it like they did to create their own to control everybody. So this system, economic system, was created through having to hate a lot of people to destroy what they were, to create a new system. So now it's in place that we all follow, money, taxes, or whatever we're doing. We've capitulated to that over centuries of people having to go to war and hate. Now, since it's developed, we are not armed to the teeth enough to try to start a revolution to fix it. So I think if we could just find a way to look at one word we're probably leaving out, peace. I can have peace, knowing that there is hatred, knowing that I have love, but to have peace, I better know how to separate the ones that love from the ones that hate. So in a hateful manner, so I can walk a fine line down the middle and not have to go to war.
That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart?
Just taking in what everyone's saying and stuff. You know, like I put in the chat, you know, I'm not trying to argue with anyone. It's just me processing to understand. Because, like, my views on hate and love are actions. Are not the source of the emotion. And that's just my view or my understanding. So I'm just trying to understand other people's perspectives.
Yes, yes.
You know, and it's like he was just saying, you know, about love and things like that. And, you know, like, I want to be able to love every human being, but there are just some people out there that if they were in front of me and do what they do, I'd probably go to prison. So, but that doesn't make it right.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's good. Go ahead, brother.
I'm still forming words.
You good. You good. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I just listen to how other people explain that, because I usually don't even engage in such conversations because everybody's thing is so subjective and what have you. I'm not trying to live up to nobody else's expectations when it comes to that issue.
I'm more like a Badger as it relates to action. If it don't look like love, it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Kay, then going to I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I like what Brother said. It's about peace. I can take peace.
Yes.
I don't care nothing about you hating me, really. But just don't bother me.
Keep it over there.
I don't have no problem with that.
That's good. That's good. We let me see. We're gonna go to right now. We're gonna go to Kay, and then we're coming back to Toya. What's on your heart?
I feel safe, and I'm gonna say this don't have to be an individual thing, but I feel safe. I do love everybody. I even love people that I know they call the word hate on me. Really don't. People that came and said, "You know, she feel like that," or he like that. I ain't done nothing to them. They don't have a reason to dislike me. I love them. Tell them that. And I sent a message to somebody a couple of days ago. And make sure you tell them I said God bless them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here to hurt nobody. I put a status. I don't go out to help people and I don't do this and I don't do none of the things. I don't reach out to help you because I want what you do. I don't want your shine. I have my own. I don't help you. We help you from the heart. You can accept it how you want to accept it because God knows why I did it. And I don't look for people to be like, oh, I'm going to pay you for doing that. No, you good. I did that because I wanted to do it.
Exactly.
My rewards come from heaven. They don't come from people.
Come on.
So I literally had to really tell somebody that this weekend. And then somebody else, and it's just people. People can be just horrible. And then they want to know why I don't fool with people, but I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I don't fool with people. And I do love everybody until they give me a reason to just not fool with them.
To separate yourself.
Love you.
To separate yourself until they give you a reason to separate yourself from them.
And that's it. I just separate myself. I still love them. If a person came to me and said, hey, we're trying to do something for Sally, no, you don't really fool with her, but we know your heart. Like, oh yeah, I'll contribute. But I don't have to be around you to love you.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in your presence to love you.
That's good. That's good.
And that's just me. I was been like that ever since I was a kid. And I don't think nothing drastic gonna happen. Like, it's just not. Like, I just told my little nephew, because one of my nephews got murdered by his friend. And they want to go get the guy, because now he's out of jail. And I was like, vengeance ain't y'all? I said, vengeance is not y'all. We had a perfect example of one little girl that did that and said, I sent the body up to my brother. Well, now she's in jail because they called her. She did all that texting because vengeance ain't on her. And so I had to talk to them this weekend, like really talk to them and sit them down and wouldn't let them leave my house. Y'all gonna listen to me today. I'm in here fixing food. You gonna stay in here with me and talk to me.
Yeah.
And I made them sit here until they got an understanding. And that's what I meant. If that means you two don't need to get together and talk to each other, but that's what's on y'all mind. I said, my nephew is in heaven living good. He's looking down on y'all like, what's wrong with y'all?
Exactly. Good deal.
Good deal. Go sit down for y'all end up in jail or dead or up here with me. Like, I really had to talk to them hard this weekend.
Okay. Good.
And
Let me keep it going.
Absolutely. I got through to them.
Absolutely. Let me keep this thing going. I want to go. Toya, I said I was coming to you, but we got another caller. Give me 1 second, Toya. I'll come right back to you. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Annette Davis Jackson calling from Lilburn, Georgia.
Hey, young lady, how you doing this morning?
Perfect.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, asking a question. I need to hear your heart on this right here. What is the difference between your love and your hate? What is the difference?
Well, let me tell you, that's a convoluted question. It's a convoluted question because I never want to be coy with the difference between my love and my hate. Because, you have to stomp out hate, period. That is it's a negative connotation, right? And so people need to better learn how to love. It's like the fruit of the spirit, the love, peace, patience, and kindness. And the last one is self-control. The reason you can't even get to self-control is because you have not loved, right? So for me, that hate, let me tell you, it is there's a mechanism that can trigger that within people. But I find that it's because people don't get their way all the time. And that's a behavior defect. That's a personality defect. I took I don't know if anybody on the call has taken the DISC personality test, but or True Colors, I would highly recommend it, because what it does is shows you if you're a dominant creature, you have to watch out when you get with other dominant creatures per se. You have to know, the same way with the book of your love language, right? And, I just don't want to call that on the love language, but if you have to know how you love, and if you haven't really got love, then you can understand why you cannot give love. So I don't think love and hate go together, to be honest.
Okay.
They don't go together. They cancel out each other.
Which force is more powerful?
Love.
And why you say?
Because God is love. See, you have to go to a higher plane spiritually within yourself, within the 4 chambers of your heart. And you have to realize that that's how we all got here, through love. And that's supernatural. That's a supernatural blessing. When all that negative and hate comes in, then you know what you have to do? And I have this module called You've Got What It Takes. You've got to draw your heart, and you've got to dump everything that's in your heart, and you got to highlight in red what you don't like about yourself. And then you got to highlight in blue and put a circle on it on what you're going to stop as like the C. What C element are you going to stomp out? That red heat and negativity, and flip it at the mouth. All those things. Let me tell you, it's a training.
Good deal. Good deal. Toya with a T. What's on your heart, sis?
Oh man, that's some good stuff. But as you see, we'll talk about love and hate. I thought there were things that God hates. And I think I hate some of the things that God hates, right? Through Proverbs, I think it is. Proverbs 6, I don't know the verse. But I thought that's what he talked about, the things that he hates, being arrogant, witness, to people who tell lies, murdering innocent, killing the innocent with love in your hands. There are certain things that, God hates, and I hate them too. I think the difference is that being someone who's been molested, I hated them. But it wasn't until I found the love of God, the forgiveness and all of that, that I can now love those with that love. I might not be around them. I understand the fact now to pray for those that do those treacherous things that even God hates. And I even pray that if the Lord put me in a situation or in front of someone, to be able to show them that love. But in the midst of an act of wanting deadly sins, I can't promise you that I'm going to be that Christian. Right? Like, you can't put a knee on your neck in front of somebody in front of me. You know what I mean? And say, oh, I want you to be a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm probably not. I'm probably going to get you that same hate that you're trying to kill this next person with. Kind of like, who's that, Moses? He got tired of seeing him killing Egyptians. He got beside himself and he got to hate me. He wanted to kill him because it wasn't right, even though that was what he did. That was the culture. That was it. But that was one of them sins, them commandments that he broke. That is also, something that God hates. And even though it's not for me to act on it, because it's the Lord, I'm human. And I believe that being in his image, sometimes I can let my flesh take control, but that's not my place. Even if I can be forgiven. So I believe that hate is real, just like love is real, because God hates. And if we're in his image, I think that there's something that we possess on the inside, even if we don't act on it. But still, I think we have to remember our place as his children on earth, what we're supposed to do. And I think that's what the whole Jesus story is about. You can forgive them because when you did the Lord, and you can do things in the flesh to help deliver them, to help restore them, to help show them the love that God wants to show them. But that's where, like my sister was talking about, the self-control, the withholding that anger. I'm quite sure some of these judges may hate some of the people that come before them. But they gotta maintain and be a judge. They don't want to take top over the counter and go get them. They gotta maintain, because they're a judge. And I think that's what we're meant to do. So, I believe that hate is real, just like I believe love is real. And it's just that action that we have to control if we're going to truly be Christian and show the love of God.
Absolutely. Bishop, what's on your heart? Wally, coming to you next. Bishop, you there?
Yeah. take this one off mute.
Okay.
I was listening to Toya. Toya, I love the way Toya speaks, and how she brings it around, and I appreciate that. I think everyone has a strong opinion, and they're entitled to it.
Mm-hmm.
I would never get mad because someone speaks their opinion, their mind. As it relates to this particular topic, I'm gonna make it always clear. You know me. I ain't never been a kumbaya preacher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go along just to get along. I don't try to say nothing's gonna pacify and satisfy everybody's mind. You know me well enough to know.
Yeah.
I can't stand that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do like to talk about is the reality of what we have to face on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I was with some fellows and we were just having some of these very same conversations. And growing up, and if anybody is from the Atlanta area, they know about East Lake Meadows, they know about Inglewood, they know about Thomasville Heights, they know about all these areas where, you know, we hung out at the pool being young, growing up. And I remember a guy walked up to me, had a gun, and he was going to rob me. And I'm saying this because when the guy gets coming on after he said what he said about being the man of war I am, I went to come back. I didn't hate my enemies, but I loved me. I didn't go there. I didn't know none of the folks me well enough to hate them, but I had to do what I had to do in order for me to retain life. The guy long enough tried to rob me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew him. He knew me.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a gun, and he decided he wouldn't pull it out. I'm looking at it, and he tried to rob me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I didn't get his privilege of robbing me. But I did tell him, say, now, if you can get that gun and you can shoot me before I stab you, then you can have all my money.
Mm-hmm.
And he left. He said, man, you crazy. I said, no, I'm not crazy. You crazy for trying to rob me.
Mm-hmm.
And he left. I didn't call the police. You know, I saw that fella down the road a little while later, and I was like, nothing didn't even happen.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that? How did you do that? Because I knew what he had in him was not him.
Mm-hmm.
It was something in him causing, because he had a need or a desire to have something, and he thought that we robbed him would allow him to get what he needed to get.
Mm-hmm.
But if he had come to me and asked me, hey man, can I borrow? I would have very graciously given it to him.
Yeah, graciously.
So from that point on, yeah, I didn't get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't called the police. I ain't tried. I didn't hold nothing in my heart against him. God knew I did.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But see, this is why we have to really understand and get to the point of knowing what love is, what love looks like, and forgiving those who do things against us.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then God gonna move whatever you do against you.
Absolutely.
And then it's gonna make it hard for you to get into the kingdom of God, as opposed to that person. Both y'all find yourself down in the lake of fire. And for Rico's sake, I say, listen, I love him, but I don't like people to say I'm not perfect, because love is a bond of perfectness. I rather you say I'm flawed, I'm human, and we'll accept that and move on. But God was not the only one perfect, because Job was, Noah was. So they were perfect in their generation, in their time. And God told us to be. And how we get there? By having love. Unconditional, one towards another. And that's all I got to say about that.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, I know I said I was going to Wally next, but we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Cassandra calling from Atlanta.
Hey, Cassandra, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Uh-oh, that go Donald picking at you. That go Donald.
Oh, Lord.
And Donald, I knew who that was. I knew who it was when he did it. But listen, I want to know, what is the difference between your love and your hate?
That's a good one. My love and my hate. I find it hard to hate. I'm trying to think of, you mean like people?
Yes.
Hating people?
Yes.
What is it? I don't hate any. I mean, dislike their ways strongly, but I can honestly say I can't find it in me to hate anyone. I just can't. Now, love, I'm like a sucker for love, because I will forgive people over and over and over again. And I don't even understand that, but I believe that it's a part of the agape love of God, because I may not hang out with you. I was just talking about this last night. I may not hang out with you. We might not be able to walk together anymore, but I will still love you despite what you've done to me. And I've had to do that because it comes with forgiveness and all. It's a whole bunch of stuff that come with that, being able to walk in that kind of love for people. But I don't hate anybody. Okay. I can honestly say that. Okay. I dislike some people. I dislike their ways, but I don't hate anyone. Not one soul that I can think of right now.
And see, I can accept that, but what I've been saying throughout the conversation today is this: emotions. We have emotions, and emotions are love, hate, fear, anger, and all the different things are emotions. And how we act on those particular emotions makes a difference, a huge difference in our life. And so when I hear somebody say, "I don't hate anybody," I can agree with that. I can go with that, but at the same time, I don't want them to say I don't have that. I don't have hate in me, because hate is.
No, I have that emotion. Oh, yeah. We all know that honestly we have that within us.
Yes.
It's whether you let that thing manifest or not.
There you go.
That's the difference. And we don't have to let it manifest. You know, as much as I dislike 45, I never hated him, but I strongly dislike his ways, and still do to this day. That'll never change unless he changes.
There you go.
So, you know, it is a difference.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Wally, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I know we're getting ready to wrap up, so I'm going to put this in a way that I think, it comes to me as a download. If we look at it and keep it simple for me, and maybe to people who have a problem wrestling with it, love is life. When you think of life, when you think of ongoing and spiritually, you get cleansed. You look at your life and say, I've loved enough to extend my life. Hatred to me is survival. When I heard the brother talk about almost being robbed, a person who wants to survive, a thief, a person who's going to take somebody out is thinking about their own, in my mind, survival. So they're learning to hate. The hairs on their neck curl up. They feel attacked, that their life may be gone, either through war or starvation or not having. So a person who develops a hatred for somebody else in the human sense is thinking about their survival as compared to another. Think about prison, where I've never been. I've done a prison ministry, but I never did time in the thing. A person in there to survive finds him or herself having to put themselves in a position to watch their back. So they're not going to go around just loving their brother or their sister and keep in prison. They're going to have to survive. So they got to look at their surroundings and guard themselves from an attack. So the hatred becomes a survival mechanism to hate the rape that they may have heard, to hate the abuse they may get from the guards, to hate the food they may be eating. So if a riot occurs, all those emotions are stirred up because your survival is at stake. So me, who's getting ready to be 63 in a month, I look at what I've done in my life and how much at peace and health I'm in, because I've loved more than I have ever hated. And I've hated very little. But I am sure coming up, I was in positions, I don't have to get into the stories, that I had to hate to survive that onslaught. I've been jumped before. I've been in gang fights, and I hated the situation, but not now people. I don't go around because I was jumped by some Puerto Ricans. I hate that. No. At that time, I was in hatred. Now I'm at a better part of my life in peace, so I can love more.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico.
Yo.
What's on your heart, brother? We got a few minutes before we get out. We got 8 minutes. I want to touch a few people, so give me your quick version, brother, but give me your heart.
First of all, let me say, man, I want to second everything Wally said, man. He said it pretty much to the word that I wanted to express. And I'm gonna say this. I hate death. I hate pain. I hate death for anybody. And I'm definitely in fear of my own death. I don't want my death to come no time soon. So I hate death. I strongly dislike it. I hate those or strongly dislike those that encourage death or go out to look to cause death, but don't care about if anybody dies or the next person dies or the next person's life. So, it's really amazing to me that I've seen in different court cases. Well, the mothers of the victim, not only do they forgive the perpetrators, but they tell them they love them, they embrace them, they reach out to them. Some of them write letters to them. And I know that they have a stronger belief, faith, and are trying to make a bigger effort to get to heaven. For them to be that forgiving. And I wish I could be to that point. Or if I ever get to that point that there was something like that happened to me or someone I love, that I could be the same way. But it's real few and far in between. You're gonna find people that won't, that will sit their emotions and feelings to the side and forgive a perpetrator. So that's a special trait. It can happen. So, you know, I hate to say that people are perfect or not perfect. I hate to say that everybody hates people or dislike people, because I was wrong. Some people can go without hating people, because I've seen myself, the victim's parents, sit up in the courtroom in the faces of a perpetrator, a murderer, and tell them they love them, forgive them, and hug them. Even the guy, John Botham's brother, hugged that cop, Amanda, that killed his brother. So it can happen. It seems a little crazy at times, and if I ain't mistaken, it might have been a few people on this radio station that said they don't hate people. They called him crazy for doing it. But, to each his own, and you know, I hope we are consistently believing that we don't hate people. Exactly. In our heart, but I think a lot of people called him crazy when he went down there and asked that woman for a hug. Can I just hug you after you kill my brother? So you know, be consistent. Like I said, I don't want to call. We're not perfect. I'm not. I might be inconsistent sometimes, but I'm gonna try my best to be consistent.
Good deal. Good deal. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Can you come back to me? I'm having to deal with a family issue.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Toussaint.
Yeah, we've been love or hate. It's just that we just have to figure out how we're going to deal with each one. Because you can meet a person, fall what we call in love with them. It depends on what they do. You begin to have a hate for them and wish that they fall off the face of the earth. Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kay, what's on your heart? God is coming to you next.
I just want to say I don't hate, and that was Annette talking about the personality test. I had a pleasure of doing a seminar this weekend, a 2-hour seminar, awesome presentation, and I left with 2 personality tests, one for me and one for a friend of my choice. And I just read over it yesterday, and I just can't wait to take it. Like, I just want to see the outcome. I'm actually in the process of taking that. Good. So I encourage everyone to take it as well. Just to look at it, the presentation about it, and it's just, I'm excited. I can't wait to take it. So when I get off of this line, I will be spending an hour.
Good Lord.
A whole hour test. Yeah. And you can take it online too, but I have the paper, so I'm gonna take it. It's an hour test.
Look at
so I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Hey,
thank you for calling in that David Jackson. Follow your dreams.
Now, and then I'm trying to call you back since I see we drop you. I'm trying to get you back in here. So give me a second. I'll call you back before we leave. But right now, I got to go to Goddess. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis?
I just want to say that hate is something that consumes people, and you don't want to let it consume you. And I don't know about Boflin Jeans, brother, but sometimes you can feel that. Sometimes you can have that spirit can consume you. So it's best to overpower that spirit and show love. And that's where love takes the place and overpowers hate. I know that for a fact. So when sometimes you have to show love and to overpower the hate or to remove that spirit, because it will consume you. That's why I walk with love, but I know what real love is, because my parents I had wonderful parents, and they showed me what real love is. And with that, I've also had a husband who never knew, who his parents never showed him what true love is. And see, when you don't know what real love is, you don't know how to love. And you have to start with loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't not love someone else. And when you do stuff, and you do it because of love, it doesn't matter what somebody else says or says about you, talks to you. You do stuff because you do it out of love.
Yeah.
You don't do it because of what somebody else is saying to you, or because you're around people that their mouth is off the chain. You do it because of love of what you choose you want to do, and love with the thing that's within inside yourself. And love overpowers everything.
Good deal. Good deal. Man, this has been a great conversation today. Badger, you back with us?
Yeah.
What's on your heart?
You know, kind of like with what Goddess was saying, you know, I didn't know what love was at all with the way I grew up. But it didn't change the kindness I have. You know, my wife taught me what love was. She didn't give up on me or anything. She stuck through me through everything until I finally started figuring out what it was. It's something that I always experienced. I just didn't know what it was. And I think there's a lot of people out there like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Due to their environments and stuff like that. It's interesting looking at it from that perspective.
Shines a different light, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, we got a few minutes, sister. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
Yeah, I like the way that Badger described it, because I grew up not feeling love. I've never had someone that was raising me. I take that back. One time when I was dying, my grandmother said, "I love you," and that. I think that literally helped bring me back to life, because she had never said that. I'd never been held and told, I was loved by my mom, my dad, who wasn't around. No one said that to me. My grandmother said it that one time. But we have to know how to. I think that is a problem when we are not shown love. And so how does a man or a woman love somebody when they've never been taught how to love, when to love? And God I was always a loving person, but I did not get it in return.
Yeah.
So I did not know how to cultivate what I felt for people, and sometimes how to show it or how to say it. And it takes away from your life. But now at my age, I've learned how to love people, how to say it every day to people. And it's beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that, we're closing out with you. What's on your heart, sis?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you that life is good. Life is good. And a lot of times when we ask questions, we really have to dig deep in why do we ask these questions, and do certain words complement each other. When we talked about love and hate, wow, you know what? They are two opposites. But my prayer is that people take a good class of what it means to love. Even if you go to the Bible, if you just take time to write down, what does love mean for me? And I do know that God is love. That's what I do know. And there's that supernatural presence that shows you how to love. And just like the sister said, some people might not know how to love. And it's up to us to have a great attitude, to show them through kindness, and sometimes just your mere presence. A male is so very important to a household. Sometimes a male doesn't have to clean up, doesn't have to do anything, but his presence is amazing. It's amazing to the kids, because they know the kids can't do, they can't get over with dad, with they can get over with mom. So I would say that let's learn that this presence of what true love is. And yes, another sister said, it's that agape love. It's that higher level. But each of us need to know how to do it better and to learn how to communicate a love where even if you have to reprove, rebuke, instruct, or exhort, that you have a certain tone where it doesn't turn off, but where it elevates the supernatural within the body so that people can reprove their own selves. And they're like, wow, I want to love like her. Or I want to love like him. We should be those examples of what that means in word and in deed.
Good deal. Well, listen, we're about to get out of here for today. This has been a great broadcast. I see Rico lifted his head up that time. He got something you want to say. Go ahead, Rico.
Oh, man, she just got a voice, man. That woman got a voice so soothing, man. I mean, did you hear the way she was saying those words just then, man? I don't know if everybody else get it, but man, she's smooth with them words, man. She just, ooh.
Look, she's smooth with them words, just can't play tennis with for heck, but that's okay. I proved that later.
You see, he tried to throw that in real slick, but you can tell he's scared. He been talking about you all weekend at it. He tried to throw it real fast and make you think he's scared, man. He been talking. He done called me every day this weekend talking about if I lose, though. If I lose.
And look here, I ain't got a scared bone in me, and I'm gonna prove it when we get on that tennis court. We just gotta set the date, the time, and I'm gonna bring my A game. Make sure you bring yours, because I'm going to tell you.
And then he said, Rico, when I pulled it up the first time, I didn't think she was serious. I got to go. He said, I got to go out here and get me some training.
It's going to say kicktail. It's going to say kicktail. I'm going to develop a new athletic line that says kicktail just for you.
Just for me. Look here, it ain't gonna be in business long. It ain't gonna be in business long, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you want it just for me, if you're gonna come out with a new line just for me, on that day we're gonna shut it down. Ain't nobody gonna want to buy it. They gonna look here. You mean if I wear that, I'm gonna get beat like this?
And that's what black men. Some black men do to black women. If I'm telling you that we're gonna make money together, and I'm gonna show you what kicktail means, right? Even if I kick your tail, why can't we make multi-millions?
We can make all the money in the world.
Another level of understanding. He gonna buy all the gear because he don't want nobody else to buy it.
I'm gonna tell you like this here.
I know, right?
No, I'm gonna tell you like this here. We can make all the money in the world, and I'm all for it. We can make all the money in the world, but if it means that I got to lose, that match, sis, I ain't losing that match.
And Raheem already told me if he lose, he gonna put it on the refs and say they was Brady's refs from the Super Bowl last night. He already got his excuses mapped out. He done made it. Man, I'm gonna tell him I had a knee surgery back in the day and it kicked in a little bit. It started looking bad. He got a plan B and a plan C, a way out.
Look here, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't need nothing but one way. Show me where the court at. And what's that? That's all I need. Show me where the court at, and I guarantee.
I already told you Mountain Park.
Look at.
I already told you Mountain Park.
Well, look, my thing is this right here. That's all I need to know. I got everything from there. I got everything else from there. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. Look, I need one thing though. I need one thing.
Be there too.
I need one thing. I need one thing, and then I just need one thing from you. That's all I need.
What's that?
I need you to promise me.
What's that?
That after this match, we're still gonna be friends.
You know what? We're gonna be the best of friends because, like I said, I'm putting out a whole line called Kicktail.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Don't forget my percent. Look at do me a favor. Make a man's line too. A man's line, because they want to see the victory side. They want to see the victory. They want to see what it's like to win in it too. They want to see what it's going to look like to win in this line. They don't want to see what it look like to lose in it. You can look good losing. You can look real good, be real professional losing. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Are you trying to say men don't look good in tights?
No, I should have kept on talking. Lord, hey, Leonard, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you're not get a chance, then you're showing this sincerity.
Log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern time today.
Good deal. Now, Leonard, who you got your money on?
On who?
In this tennis match. We playing a tennis match. Who you got your?
I've already told you. I'm doubling down on that match.
Leonard, man, Leonard, you know how far we go back, brother?
I know where that money at.
Leonard, hold on. Cassandra Green, my sister.
And then I'm sorry.
See, my thing is this right here. It's terrible. I got to turn all y'all into believers. Wally.
She got too much practice in on you. She got too much.
We ain't
gonna be able to do it.
We ain't worried about no. Listen. I've been an athlete all my life. All my life I've been an athlete. That's my color purple. But my thing is right here. I'm gonna make all y'all believers, and as a matter of fact, we're gonna next time after whatever the day is, the next day that we on the radio after that, I want to have a public apology from each and every one of y'all after I win. I want a public apology, an individual. I'm gonna go to each and every one of y'all, and I want all y'all to apologize to me for not believing in me after I get this ring. Can I get y'all to do that?
I'm gonna be right there.
This is gonna be really pathetic. And then I'm gonna be really pathetic. That's all I can say.
Hold on, Bishop.
Yeah.
Who you got your money on, brother? That's my brother right there. Don't you start no mess. Don't you start no mess, Bishop. Don't you start no mess. Don't you start no mess now. Huh? Go ahead.
Because you know with Guerrero, bro, I'm always team Raheem, brother, in this tennis match. I know in there too. I know how you move around the studio. My money's on that net. Hey, I'm just saying.
Donald, what you laughing at, Donald? What you laughing at?
What side of the court do you hold?
Raheem.
Yes.
Raheem, make sure you find that white towel that's laying next to you and go ahead and throw it in.
Look here. What do you mean? Before, during, or after my victory? At what point? Before, during, or after?
You might as well do it right now. Do it right now.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all. See. I'm just hurt. My feel I'm just hurt. I'm crushed that y'all don't believe in me. But I'm gonna make all y'all believers. And like I said again, I want each and every one of y'all to. I can't believe Leonard. Each and every one of y'all to apologize. I can't believe Leonard now.
Hey, I'm Jesse Jackson. I'll keep hope alive. I believe you. Y'all keep hope alive. I keep hope alive, okay?
Oh, that's all I need. One. All I need is one. All I need is
man. Raheem, I'll tell you, man, after hearing them conversations this weekend, man, you're gonna have to sound a little bit more confident. I ain't mean to put your business out there, man, but in between the lines, you wasn't sounding too confident. If I hit between now and then, if you start talking a little bit more confident, I believe you wasn't sounding too good the other day, man.
I had a conversation with my brother.
And we believe in you. We just believe you ain't gonna win.
This is all fuel. This is fuel. Y'all fueling me. Y'all don't understand what y'all doing right now. Y'all are fueling me. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm loving it.
What's the number for 911?
874. I got something for you. I always got to come back. 874. That's what it is. 874. That's the number to 911. 874. Dial it, see what you get. 8748.
We gonna say the same thing you don't get if you dial it when you lose. Nothing.
Look at it. And that. I got to applaud you, sister. I got to applaud you. You got a real good cheerleading squad. You really do. You got a real good cheerleading team. But my thing is right here. What you gonna do? Console them after this match is over. How you gonna make them feel better? I tell you what. Give them some.
Sorry, brother. Let me tell you this, right? Right. Right now mentally, I am working on my ace with you. Okay. So I'm going to take you from the left side of the court in the service box to the right side of the court.
Okay.
All right. So,
That's good.
So I'm working mentally on you right now.
How does it?
My late father, he used to whip my tail in tennis because that's how I became a college coach.
I'm going to help you remember.
I played with men.
I'm going to help you remember.
And so I played with men. Men are amazing.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stick to that.
Okay.
And I'm going to rely on what I know.
You remember how he used to whoop your tail? You remember how he used to whoop your tail? I'm going to make you reminisce. I'm going to make you reminisce on those days.
Hey, put it this way: you ain't nothing like Daddy. Okay.
Okay. Look, my thing is
nothing like Daddy.
My thing is right here. My thing like right here. When the match is over, I want you to come to the net. Be a good sport about it. Shake my hand and say, I didn't believe you could do it. Great match. I didn't believe you could do it. That's all I want you to say. And I'm gonna say it's okay.
Man, he forgot the story about the race with his daughter, and he couldn't even go to second round. I guess. Oh, see. He look. I got somebody who's more than one round in tennis. Let me be the first to say, y'all, right? The first said there's more than one round in tennis.
Listen.
You couldn't even go handle your own.
What happened?
That's right.
I miss something.
Right. I got you, brother. I got you a trainer if you want a trainer now.
I want to ask one question. About miles per hour of both of y'all service games. I mean, you know about how fast do you think your serve is, and how fast does Annette think her serve is?
Go ahead, ladies first.
Well, let me tell you. It's not a matter of how fast you serve.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I can do a slice serve, right?
I told you that, Rico.
Have you trying to run to the net? Okay, but you don't make it. So it could be 60, right? And it could be right in. If you're standing on the ad side of the court, it could be right at the tip of the box. Okay, where you're not looking for it because you're not standing far back enough.
The same thing I told you.
Then you decide to adjust yourself and you try to come up, but you get choked by your racket. Okay.
Rico.
That's all I will say.
Rico. Same thing I told you over the weekend.
Oh, this gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm coming over there just to see this. It's gonna be good, man. You can't lose to no woman, Raheem.
Listen, but ain't that the same thing I told you over the weekend? Ain't that the same thing I told you? See? Hey man, look here. I'm telling y'all sleeping on the best. Y'all sleeping on the beast. I'm telling you, sleeping on the beast. Listen, Cassandra. Let me see what this message is right here. Somebody said, she said somebody said she getting that service game right. Okay. See, we got people.
Absolutely.
See, we got all the other people on sideline. People talking about stuff. See, Lord, my G.
Thank you. I love it. This is good.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Kay, pray us out.
Hey, just tell me what size you wear so I can have a kick tail ready for you. I have your little biker shorts so you look fine, and your little muscle shirt. I'll have it ready for you. I'll leave it in a nice
is that
the bathroom and change.
Is that so? What you're telling me right now that it's gonna be in the victor's bag? In the winner's, it's a part of the winner's purse. Basically, what you're telling me.
No, it's just gonna be a part. We gonna be uniform. We gonna put on a kick tail with us.
Okay.
It's gonna be nicely packaged.
Okay.
Just tell me your size.
Victory.
Sounds like a winner. Sounds like a winner. Tell him expect victory. That's right. He said victory.
Victory.
Just the fact that he puts his feet on the court. That's victory.
Look here.
That's victory.
I'm gonna do more than that, though.
That's right. That's victory right there. The fact, yeah. And
I'm not gonna be like.
Right?
I'm not gonna be. No. I don't come to the court with no less than 3 or 4. I don't come to the court with no less than 3 or 4 records.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
That's.
Well, I was just saying because you can't use my racket. I'm sorry.
I just gotta. I bring 3 or 4 rackets with me, and it's based on the court and stuff like that. Which one I use. You know how that verbiage goes. You know how that thing go. See, you ain't talking to no rookie now. But anyway, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Hey, you better stop talking. Because you might play on the clay court, and I know I can just whip all of you on the clay court.
But see, it's a funny thing about that though, and the thing I'm having a hard time putting my hand around it. What am I supposed to be doing while you whooping me? Am I supposed to be standing there just taking it? It don't work like that. Now, somebody, see what you got to understand. If you plan on whooping somebody, you gotta also understand that they got to be doing something while you're whooping them. Now, if you going, it's like if you going into a boxing match, you say, "Well, I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you." But hold on, why are you talking about beat the brakes off somebody in the boxing? You got to understand that they gonna be doing something too now.
I don't know, Raheem. I'm starting to do some visualization here. Like, I'm ready for Kay to project out because I'm starting to visualize what's going on here. Like, I'm seeing you standing there with your butt whooped, and it's starting to visualize. So I think we need to call.
Hold on, let me say this. Let me say this to you. Hold on, let me say this to you.
My hope is.
Hold on, sis. Let me say this to you. Nightmares are terrible things to have. Nightmares are terrible things to have. It sounded to me like it sounded to me no. It sounded to me like my sister's having a nightmare over there. Because if she seeing me getting my butt whooped like that, she better wake up and slap herself 3 times and say, I never do that again. As a matter of fact, call me and apologize. If you have another nightmare like that, you wake up, slap yourself, call me and apologize to me for even thinking something like that. No way the world nothing like that gonna really happen. I'm just saying. So look at you having a nightmare, and I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you go through these times. I don't want to see you go through this. Wake up, slap yourself 3 times. I want you to slap yourself 3 times. 3 times. Slap yourself 3 times. And then give me a call, say, Raheem, I apologize. I don't know what I'm thinking. Hold on, we gotta get out of here. Okay, will you pray us out, Kay?
Yes, I will. Father God, we come to you with our yes, Father God, we come to you with thanks. And once again, we just thank you for laughter, Father God. We love the laughter, and we just love you, Father God. And we thank you for our host, and we thank you for the broadcast. We thank you for the participants, Father God. We thank you for the listeners, Father God. Father God, if we had 2,000 times, we couldn't thank you enough, Father God. We ask you to continue to strengthen each and every last one of us, our family members represented on and off this line, all of those that's in the broadcast, all those listening. Father God, we just ask you to reach out and just touch them all and bless them. Father God, we lift them up if there's anyone would have fallen down, anyone need a healing, Father God, financial healing, spiritual healing, whatever healing they may need, Father God, we just ask that you just heal them all, Father God. In your sweet Son, Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. And I can't believe my sister Cassandra. She done bet on the other team. Lord have mercy. Lord, my Jesus.
You've been daydreaming all weekend about it, so we
Cassandra,
know you're kind of concerned.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you something. My thing is, I love tennis. I love the game of tennis. I love playing tennis, and I love having a good match in regards to tennis. But what you're saying to me right now, truth of the matter, it's the same thing my pastor said to me a couple of years ago. In Columbia, South Carolina, he said, "Man, I've been playing tennis all this time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get you out there. I'm gonna wear you out." You might want to call him and talk and find out what happened to him when he said the same thing you said to me. You might want to do your reference, make a couple of reference calls, and find out.
That's a man versus a man. You done told us that you ran against your daughter, and she did that.
No.
Listen.
No. That's a different thing. We had a little race, but even in that, who will I tell you more?
We don't matter. You couldn't go again.
Listen. All I got to do is win the match. All I got to do is win. That's all I got to do.
All you got to do is be able to run all over that court, and that's gonna run you from the front to the back.
It's okay. It's okay.
You can't get there at that point.
Look here, I got a friend. Listen. I got a friend named Lou Bear. Is my brother's Haitian. He plays soccer all the time. That's his sport. But me and him get out there on that tennis court, and we be running all over the place. You just imagine. Now you telling me that I'm gonna get on the court and not be prepared. You trying to tell me that I'm gonna get on the court and I'm gonna run out of gas? That's my least worry, run out of gas. That's everybody got levels of different things, but my least worry, the least thing on my list is running out of gas. I promise you I'm not gonna run out of gas. I bet you $100 to it. Look, listen. Nah, we ain't worried about that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I will bet you $100 to it. I bet you $100 to a half a dime. That's only a nickel that I will not run out of gas. I bet you $100 to a half a dime. That's a nickel that I won't run out of gas. I ain't worried about running out of gas. I ain't worried about that. That's my least worry. Now,
I know one thing, boy. You don't prove that you resilient. You will accept the challenge. You don't bag down. But I know one thing too. Along with your competitiveness, you got to where you couldn't even get out that prayer good, and then you came right back to it, man. I can't believe Cassandra said that.
That's my
and everything.
Oh, that's my sister. She supposed to have my back. See,
The whole time she was praying, you were like, "Hurry up! I ain't finished yet."
No. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna call Cassandra when we get out there. Cassandra, you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Lord, my Jesus. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But listen, we're gonna get out of here. It's 10:23, man. It's time for us to get out of here. Well, Cassandra. I would tell my wife, Cassandra.
I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Lord, my Jesus. It's 10:23. It's 10:23. Time for us to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is 10:24. We're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. We shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Do me a favor. Go out there, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Have a great day and love each other.